All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. Another 35 Thursday, and this one came with a extra special death, unfortunately. And again, this is what we are educating about over here: that the league is rigged, and that ritual sacrifice is a part of it. And we've been talking about the same thing for a decade now. And again, it's a numbers game. The last time the Commanders and the Bears played each other before tonight's Thursday night football game was exactly 51 weeks ago. And then Dick Butkus, number 51, dies. And in Gematria, federal equals 51, so does conspiracy. We're in the federal city. When you think 51 and conspiracy and federal, you probably think of Area 51. Funny enough, the conspiracy stereotype, tinfoil hat, also has the Gematria 51. But this is a real conspiracy. And again, we teach about 35 Thursday every single week. Thursday equals 35. Chicago also equals 35. DJ Moore equals 35. Dick Butkus happens to equal 149, which is the 35th prime. Again, he's in the show Vegas. The character he plays in Vegas, even that character name equals 149. Of course, the Super Bowl this year is in Vegas. Of course, the first Super Bowl was Packers over Chiefs with 35 points scored. And in Gematria, even Super Bowl and football have the Gematria value of 35. Special number in this study. And something we speculated on tonight before Dick Butkus had even died is that Justin Fields could toss 4 touchdowns tonight, because if he did throw 4 touchdowns, he would have 35 for his career. That's exactly what he did. We talked about how DJ Moore could be a ripe candidate for 2 touchdowns tonight. He actually ended up having 3, getting to 5 with the Bears to start off week 5. And again, all day today, CNN had a story up about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce and 5 theories for why they're actually dating. It's like, oh, what a story, CNN. Such important news on the 5th day of the month for week 5. Again, for all the people who can't see the number games that are going on from sports to news, you got to work on the diet. You got to pay attention. You got to get more sleep. It's not an accident that I figured out gematria. I knew something was going on with numbers for a decade before I found this practice of coding numbers into words. And again, let's just go through all of this and make sure people are really understanding what's going on. So, to understand how scripted the NFL is, I'm going to go to Football Reference's website. I'm not sure they've updated the wins yet for the Bears. I'll tell you right now if they have, because I got the screenshot from before the game. So this has not been updated, but tomorrow this will update. And tomorrow you will see that the Bears now have 787 regular season wins. This category right here is for regular season wins. Tomorrow when they update, they'll get their 787th franchise win, and they'll stay on 628 losses. And look at this. Gematria, I typically teach you guys about the base ciphers, but if you're on the Patreon, you learn more. And we talk about how when you get to the big numbers, the cipher you need is something that's known as Jewish Gematria. Again, Derek recently renamed the cipher Latin. And I gave you guys a video at the beginning of the game saying, look up what Richard Butkus equals in Jewish Gematria or Latin, and look up what Dick Butkus equals. Look at this. This is how scripted the league is, you guys. Richard Butkus equals 787. The Bears just got their 787th franchise win tonight, and Dick Butkus equals 628. And they just stayed on 628 losses in a massive 35 ritual nonetheless. I want you to think about the odds of that being a coincidence. You know, a moron will come here, somebody with a short IQ, and they'll be like, well, you're using 5 ciphers. And I'll say, yeah, okay, 5 ciphers. So if I have 5 ciphers to get this dead on tonight, as it is, what's the probability of that? You're talking about 1 in the millions, okay? Improbable odds. Better odds of winning the mega millions. Yet this stuff goes on day after day. And we've been teaching the same things for all these years. And consider who was coaching the opposing team tonight. Here, again, to make the point about the base ciphers. In the base ciphers, what do I always say is the most important cipher? This dark blue one, right? In that cipher, the alphabetic order with numerology, Dick Butkus is 31. Ron Rivera, who was a Chicago Bear, who won the Super Bowl with them in the 85-86 season, tonight he got his 31st loss with the Washington Commanders. Ron Rivera picked up his 31st loss tonight in this game. A Chicago Bear himself. You know, part of the legendary, Hall of Famers for that team. You don't think the whole league's scripted? Here, in case you're doubting that he's dead 51 weeks after the last meeting of teams, let's look at that. Chicago Bears to Washington Commanders. Here, let's go to their head-to-head. Their last meeting before today, October 5th. And by the way, today's date can be written 5/10. Home teams became 5-10 on primetime as home teams for the entire season picked up their 35th loss tonight. That's how perfect it is. The whole league scripted together. And we saw this on Monday, that if the Giants lost, it would set up this 35 Thursday ritual. And, of course, Geno Smith got his 25th win over the Giants, where Giants equals 25, and they won Super Bowl 25. But notice, the last meeting was October 13th, 2022. So check this out. October 13th, 2022 to October 5th, 2023, 51 weeks. 51 weeks. You see how it's also 357 days? Look at this. Look at the Bears' road record. Tonight was a road game for the Bears. Check this out. I'm going to go to StatMuse. Bears' all-time road record. They stayed on 357 all-time road losses tonight, facing the team who they played 357 days ago. And what were they advertising at the very beginning of the game, you guys? What was the advertisement at the very beginning of the game for what Amazon Prime, which had the game tonight, was going to do after the game? Before the game even started, they were showing you that the rapper Lil Durk, the Chicago rapper, was going to perform after the game. So they got a Chicago rapper on this day too. And we've been talking about all the bodies in the hip-hop world connected to Lil Durk. When Jonathan gets on here and collaborates, he's been covering all the deaths connected to Lil Durk over the years. So what do you know? The rapper with all the bodies connected to him is performing on the night of this obvious death ritual. And you don't think there's an Illuminati running shit? I mean, you got to be brain dead. Here, I'm going to show you how funny it is with Lil Durk. Look at this. Look how perfect it all is. This is why they love all these little tiny rappers. And here's, you know why they like all these little rappers? Again, don't take it from me. Take it from all the rappers that already told you this, like Noriega and the others, and the one who died on Jay-Z's birthday at age 33, Pimp C from UGK. They like the little rappers because these guys are easier to bend over and fuck in the ass. That's what's really going on in these record studios. So I want you to understand, when you go and buy these tickets to these games, to these concerts, you're supporting this murder. Guys who are famous because they're willing to bend over and get fucked in their ass. And that's why they're chosen, because they're little itty-bitty guys. Grown men worshiping little men who do these. I mean, these songs are fucked up that these people are even making anyway. But look at this. From this guy's birthday to this. Look at this. It's 351 days later, right? The 26th triangular number. Again, 26 is the number of games. The word game is 26. Ball games, 26. You just had the death of Robinson Cano. Or, excuse me, not Robinson Cano, but Brooks Robinson of the Orioles on the 26th. His nickname in baseball, human vacuum cleaner, equals 101, the 26th prime. His team finishes with 101 wins on 10/1, 26 days before the big ball game when the World Series starts. These same numbers always coming up over and over and over. This stuff is not an accident. He's performing after the game. We're talking about Chicago. The name Jordan equals 26. The name Bryant equals 26. R.I.P. Kobe Bryant, dead on the anniversary of Bear Bryant. And again, Gematria, forwards and backwards. Kobe died on the 37-year anniversary of Bear Bryant. His death had everything to do with Moses Malone, who won the NBA Finals the year that Bear Bryant died on January 26. But again, Bryant 26 forwards, 37 in reverse. Kobe dead on the 37-year anniversary of Bear Bryant. Just think about it. The name Jordan's the same way, 26-37. And don't forget, Kobe Bean Bryant's also 81 like his career high, and Kobe Bean Bryant's 54 like dead the Sunday before Super Bowl 54. And now they're going to put up the Kobe statue 3 days before the Super Bowl, and we all know who won that Super Bowl right after, Kobe died. Patrick Mahomes, and he won the game on his 41st pass attempt with his 26th completion and number 26 to put it away. But Kobe Bryant, 41. And don't forget, I wrote a book about rigged sports with a big chapter on Kobe Bryant in 41 years before he died at age 41 while traveling from Catholic Mass on the Pope's 41st day of his age. And that book, here's how big the physical copy of this book is. It's huge. Page 29 of this 800-page book, what do I say? I say the Catholic Church is running all this shit. Like I haven't proven my point a million times over. And aren't they the ultimate sodomites? Do we even need to argue about that? I think that one's pretty well established. But Dick Butkus dead at 80. And who has the monster game tonight? DJ Moore. He just entered the Chicago Bears record books for one of the best all-time offensive performances for a Chicago Bear. Because it's scripted. DJ Moore 80, and then 35 like Thursday. And then DJ Moore also 37 in reverse. See how it's 35 forwards, 37 in reverse? Look at Chicago. Oh my God, I got to spell right. Chicago, 37 forwards, 35 in reverse. Chicago also 46, like how they won that Super Bowl 46-10 with the revolutionary 4-6 defense. Chicago has the 35 and 46 like Thursday does, like Catholic does. The first pope of the Catholic Church is Peter. Thursday is named after Jupiter. Think about it. Christianity comes from Judaism. Jesus, the Jew. The Abrahamic religions. Jupiter. Do they wear the small hat in the Catholic Church? Who are the Jesuits? Right, the Catholic Jewish Alliance. Where does this whole thing of letters and numbers come from? Jewish mysticism, Kabbalah. Is it starting to make more sense? It should. And keep in mind, Chicago is a very Catholic city. And how many more times do we need to see this? Remember when Kevin Green of Pittsburgh died at age 58 right before Monday Night Football? Remember that? Primetime game? Kevin Green dead at 58 right before the primetime game. Same scenario here. And this happens all the time. It's just people probably remember Kevin Green because he's a real big name in football, but you pay attention week after week, former players of teams dead all the time. The day the Dolphins scored 70, Miami Dolphins 70. What was in the news? A former Dolphin, Hubert Ginn, dead at 70. And then 4 days after the game, they announced that another Dolphin had died that day. Both of them were drafted in 1970. 4 days after the game, they announced that the day of the game, the morning of, a Dolphin who was drafted in 70 had also died that day. You had two Dolphins drafted in 1970, died days apart, and the second one on the day of the 70-point game. And again, Alabama Crimson Tide's also 70, where Tua's from. Alabama Crimson Tide, 70. They won with 24 points, and then the Dolphins game was on the 24th of September, and Tua, who went to Alabama, got his 24th win. And of course, he wore number 13 at Alabama. Remember how that season we explained why Alabama would win the championship that year. And then it was January 3rd that Trump said he was going to attend the game. January 3rd could be written 1-3 or 3-1 like Alabama. But remember what happened in that game. Tua ended that game. Remember, Alabama was down 0-13 at the half. Jalen Hurts got benched. Tua came in the second half. That game ended with a 41-yard touchdown pass from number 13 to number 6 to give Nick Saban his 6th championship to tie Bear Bryant. 41's the 13th prime number, and 13's the 6th prime number. A 41-yard touchdown from number 13 to number 6 to win the game for Nick Saban to tie Bear Bryant. That's called a script. That's why the announcers are always saying you couldn't have scripted it any better. And in the college football game, we're always talking about the deaths along the way too. The same thing goes on in college. R.I.P. to Tyshawn Dye of LSU, the year that they lost to Joe Burrow in New Orleans, as Joe Burrow became the Heisman winner and won the championship in New Orleans over Clemson, just like Billy Cannon. And Billy Cannon died the exact same day that Joe Burrow transferred to LSU from Ohio State. And then Joe Burrow, the year he went to the Super Bowl with the Bengals, he played the Titans, who used to be the Oilers. He played the Raiders. He played the Chiefs. He played the Rams. What teams did Billy Cannon play for? Billy Cannon played for what teams? And we caught on to this while the playoffs were going on that year. We saw how they were doing this. Billy Cannon played for Houston, who are the Titans now. Houston Oilers became the Tennessee Titans. Oakland, the Raiders, and Kansas City. And remember how Kansas City was whooping the Bengals' ass, and then all of a sudden they just couldn't play football anymore, and the Bengals came back and went to the Super Bowl? But the Rams is who drafted Billy Cannon. Billy Cannon was drafted by the Los Angeles Rams. First pick overall, 1960 NFL draft. And the funny thing about the day Billy Cannon died, May 20th, that's the day in history that Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits, was shot with a cannonball. And remember, we documented a few months back how the federal judge, Eileen Cannon, sentenced Donald Trump to court on May 20th. Whoa. And again, Donald Trump, Jesuit educated. And again, how we're always showing how all of it's connected. The sports, the politics, the news. It's all being controlled by this Illuminati network. And the Illuminati was founded by the Jewish man who was Jesuit trained, Adam Weishaupt. And by the way, with regards to the whole 51 thing tonight, the Illuminati was founded on May 1st, 5-1, right? And Adam Weishaupt equals 51 in the most pure cipher. Go figure. Go figure. But here, let's just go over it all. Again, let's look at the box score and make sure everything I'm saying is right about Justin Fields getting to 35 career touchdowns. 40 points, always a big number on TNF. TNF's 40 for the record. Thursday Night Football. 40-point win. Bears get to 1-4. Here, let's look at that TNF gematria again. Is TNF 14, 1-4? Who was the ref tonight? The ref was number 1. Ref number 1. Bears get their first win. Last week, you had ref number 76. The Lions got their 76th win versus the Packers, as the Packers stayed on 35 wins versus the Lions at Lambeau Field. The week before that, Kirk Cousins' 35th loss with the Vikings. Actually, the week before that, it was the Giants and 49ers' 35th regular season match on Thursday. The week before that, Cousins fell to 46-35 with the Vikings, where Thursday's 35-46. And then the week before that, again, the Lions got their first win in Kansas City in 35 years in Dan Campbell's 35th game, as Jared Goff had 35 pass attempts. But here, let's look at the box score here and see what kind of nice nuggets we have for tonight. So Justin Fields, 4 touchdowns. If you're on my Patreon, again, you get this kind of information right here. The home team records for the season were 30-34 coming in tonight. If they lost, home teams would get the 35th loss, which they did. Primetime, home teams were 5-9 in primetime this year. If the home team lost, it'd be 5-10. Today's date can be written 5-10. And again, we lay out all this information. The date. I mentioned how if the Bears won by 4 tonight, the Washington Commanders would have been outscored by 35. Obviously, they won by more than 4. But again, just looking for where 35 could play. And again, we go through and we document everything. We look at the scenarios. We talk about how Chicago, it's the 3-1-2 area code. Here, look at Justin Fields' record, actually. I want you guys to see this. Justin Fields is now 3-12 at home and 3-12 on the road for his career. That's Chicago's area code, 3-1-2. The 3-1-2 is Chicago. Let me see if this website's already updated. So Justin Fields, 3-12 at home, 3-12 away. Last week we expected him to beat the Broncos and get to 3-12 at home, and we made the same point tonight. If he wins tonight, he'll again be 3-12. Area codes play so hard in rig sports. It's like LA winning the Super Bowl on 2-1-3 in the 2-1-3 area code. Seattle, where I'm from, when they won their only Super Bowl, Russell Wilson had 206 passing yards, the area code. Remember the NBA Finals where LeBron came back from 3-1? The last game in Cleveland was Game 6. 216 points combined in that game. Cleveland, the 2-1-6. And I'm forgetting a million other examples, but area codes all the time in sports. You pay attention, it'll blow your mind how often it comes up. So, anyway, back to the box score. Justin Fields with 4 touchdowns. So scroll down here to the players section. Number one Fields is 4 touchdowns from 35. Tonight, Justin Fields' box score, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Now at 35 career touchdowns. Again, this website will not update until tomorrow, but come back here tomorrow, Football Reference. And by the way, he also has a 3-5 birthday, does Justin Fields. But again, before tonight's game, before it updated, 31 touchdowns. And just to verify that that's not an updated stat and I'm not misleading you here, let's go to his career game log. You'll see that they haven't added in tonight's game yet. So tonight's game, not there. The last game in his game log, where he's at 31 touchdowns, is his October 1st game, this past Sunday. He lost and became 3-12 at home versus the Broncos. I might have misspoke a second ago but we had Justin Fields falling to 3-12 at home with the Broncos winning, and Sean Payton, who got the win with the Broncos. Sean Payton used to play for the Bears. See how this is working out? The ritualism. So anyway, we talked about how if DJ Moore caught 2 touchdowns tonight, he'd get to 4 with the Bears, because today's date numerology was 4, and we talked about how, to look out for the tight ends to score touchdowns tonight, because today leaves 87 days left in the year, and think about how many tight ends in NFL history wear 87. It's a big number with tight ends. But the tight ends caught touchdowns for both teams tonight. Number 4 caught a touchdown tonight on the 4-date numerology. These were all the things we circled as, worthy plays. So we hit a bunch of player props tonight. We hit the underdog Bears again. And we've just been dominating Thursday all season. It's been easily the best spot of the season. Sundays, the games that I've liked, we've hit those at a high percentage, but there's been a game each week that's killed us. Last week it was the Steelers. The week before that, it was the Saints. The week before that, it was the Lions. But out of the other games that we circled that we liked, we hit those games. And the one other game that you could hold against us this past weekend was the Saints game this past weekend, too. The Saints kind of did us dirty the last 2 weekends. But we weren't as crazy about the Saints this weekend with Derek Carr, being questionable. So that wasn't as big of a deal. But again, teaching the same thing every week, coming here just saying, here's the latest 35 Thursday ritual, here's the latest 35 Thursday ritual. At what point does it break through in the fan's head who just can't accept this? And it's their ego. It's their ego that won't accept it. They won't accept that the game is rigged because their whole life they've worshiped the game. They've loved the game. They love their team. They love watching the game. They're invested in the game. The game means a lot to them. Without the game, what else do they have to look forward to on the weekend? The game's the biggest part of their life. That's the problem. Watching children's games is the biggest part of adults' lives in America because of our culture. There's a reason the word cult is at the beginning, and we're raised to be this way, to be so invested in the bullshit, the politics, the sports, the news. All of this needs to be broken. That's the point of my channel, to break all of this. I don't know how I'm not winning. I don't know how we're not winning with way more people. I mean, how deep is the trance? Oh man, another big star's dead right before the primetime game. Weird. No, and who does the homework to notice that it's 51 weeks after the last meeting of these teams and Dick Butkus is number 51? People aren't asking questions. They're not looking into things. They're just marching along to their training, their cultural training. It's problematic. Big time. Big time. Something I'll also tell you that I noticed a lot about Thursday Night Football, the numbers in the score seem to always point to numbers that are important for the weekend games, the Sunday games. For example, you have 60 total points tonight. We talked about where 40 matters because TNF is 40. But the thing about Sunday is the 281st day of the year, which is the 60th prime number. Remember Kobe? In 1983, the year that he was 4 years old at that time in 83, he turned 5 later in 83. He was born August 24th, 78, but he was 4 when Philadelphia won the championship with Moses Malone, who said, "Fo, fo, fo." And Moses Malone died at age 60. Right after Daryl Dawkins died, and Daryl Dawkins equals 60 in Gematria, and when you spell out 4 as a word, it equals 60, and Moses Malone was drafted by Utah, and Kobe finished his career against Utah scoring 60 points. But those finals in 83 started 60 days after Moses Malone's birthday. And then they finished those finals 281 days after Kobe Bryant's 4th birthday. 281, the 60th prime. And then all those years later, Moses Malone and Daryl Dawkins both drafted out of high school. Moses Malone, the first player out of high school from the ABA. Daryl Dawkins, the first player out of high school from the NBA. And then, by the way, Kobe was the 4th player drafted out of high school by the NBA. And, of course, he fell to 4th in points scored the day before when LeBron passed him in his hometown Philly. And LeBron, King James, the Bible, Exodus 4, the story of Moses with the staff and how it's turned to a snake. Like Kobe the Black Mamba, like the black snakes on the Philly court. Like how in November, after he retired in 2016, they put out the Kobe Bryant After Death shoe. And then on 11/16, or 16/11, the 16th of November, Comedy Central did the cartoon about Kobe dying in a helicopter crash. And the King James Bible came out in 1611. And then the year Kobe died, the Lakers got AD, like after death. You know what I mean? But hey, look at coming back to this. Look at Sam Howell's box score tonight. 37 from out of 51. 51 weeks after the last meeting. Number 51, Dick Butkus dead. Again, like I said, the Bears were on 37 points before they got the final field goal. And again, big number in Chicago's 37. And it's in DJ Moore as well. But he has 37 completions on 51 attempts on the night of this, you know? And I mean, just how much more evidence do you need for what's going on? Like, how perfect is all this? It's one of the most perfect rituals I ever saw. And shout out to all the good people in the community who are making the observations. Like the thing I showed you with the Jewish Gematria, that wasn't my find. That was somebody who called into my show on Patreon, and that's the advantage of being in the community. There are good people, veterans, who know how to decode. And while I was taking calls, somebody looked up and looked up the Bears' record and said, look at this. If they win tonight, their record's going to become, again, they haven't updated this, it's going to become 787 and 628. And in Jewish Gematria, Richard Butkus equals 787, and Dick Butkus equals 628. And we've seen things like this before. Again, we've shown things just like this before. But, I mean, it just keeps happening, and it's like, where is everybody? All these celebrities in the world. Hey, how come ESPN's not going to talk about this tomorrow? I thought it's sports news. Isn't this news? Isn't it news that the games are scripted, that they're sacrificing players? Oh, that's right. The guys up there in the suits getting paid millions like Stephen A. Smith, they've also had all these deaths close to them and their families. Oh, they're part of this game too. Remember Stephen A. Smith's mom got whacked by the numbers, right, as the NBA Finals were about to get underway. By the NBA Finals Gematria code. Remember that? We covered that back then? There's a reason Stephen A. Smith gets paid so much money. He's part of this. A lot of these guys are. That's why they're on there lying to you. For the money, for the fame, because that's what they've chosen in life. To them, the most important things in them is fame and money. You know? All right. If there's anybody out there that thinks all this stuff's a coincidence, I'm going to open up the phone line. I got to hear what it is from all these coincidence theorists in the world. You want to call in? That's the number. Let me open up the phone line here. 1 second. Just take me a second here to get it open. But yeah, come talk to me. How am I here teaching about the same thing every single week? Has my message ever changed in the 10 years I've been here? Or have I been talking about the same damn thing every time? You know? I even talked about on the stream how Dick is 4 letters and how the Bears can stay on 4 losses, and that might be why Justin Fields gets 4 touchdowns tonight. For each letter a Dick, where the first one's D, the 4th letter. My Patreon is, here, I'll put the link in the chat. Here's my Patreon right here. Thank you to everyone who supports it. But yeah, the line's open. You know, tell me what's coincidental about everything we show him with Dick Butkus tonight. In case you got here late, let me put that part up. Again, outside of the base ciphers, the most important cipher, the one where you get the big numbers, is Jewish Gematria, which Derek renamed Latin. If you go to my website and use my calculator, it's still called Jewish Gematria. But Richard Butkus, 787. And that's what win number the Bears got in the regular season as a franchise tonight, 787. Dick Butkus, 628. And you know how many movies this guy was in? This guy has a huge resume in Hollywood. I didn't realize how many damn movies and TV shows Dick Butkus was in. Dick Butkus, IMDb. Here, I want you guys to see this. He has 62 acting credits, but I want you to see his character name in Vegas. Here, we got a call, and then I'll get to this thing after the call about Vegas. 412? 412. They just called in to hang up. Okay, so Vegas is a show he was in 1981. All right? And his character, I want you to see his character name. Hold up. Let's just do it this way. Dick Butkus character, Vegas. He was Vinny Trancus, okay? So I want you to see this. First, we're just going to do Dick Butkus and the base ciphers, then we're going to do his character name. And this is common in Hollywood, too. I've said this so many times. It's so many actor names. The characters they have the same gematria. But notice how Dick Butkus is 149, which is the 35th prime number, going with the whole 35 Thursday thing. And then his character name is also 149. 920? You're on. You're on. 920, you're on.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on. What's up?
Hello. Hey, how you doing there, Zachary?
Yeah, what's up?
It's been a while since I talked to you. I missed you.
Yeah, you sound like a weirdo already. What are you calling in about?
Well, you're a fraud, weirdo.
Yeah, I'm a fraud. Fuck you. I mean, you can just tell. Like, these are my trolls. Fucking weirdos. Yeah, I'm a fraud. What I'm showing is fraud. What's Vinny Trancus equal? 85? How about, like, National Football League, which was, again, the two oldest teams in the league in the NFL are Chicago and the Cardinals, who are also from Chicago. For example, they're the only two teams that are 104 years old. It's the 104th season. But you see how National Football League's 85? Another big number we talk about all the time. So the football stars got this name that's 85, and that was part of the reason we like the tight end tonight for the Bears, who wears 85 to score as well. Going against Ron Rivera, who was on that 85 Bears team. I see. We got all the weirdos calling tonight. Just pick up their call and they hang up instantly. Hey, Truth Vibration Podcast, why don't you call in? Why don't you call in? Give it a call, buddy. Let's see who the pussy is. I haven't hung up on anyone. If you're going to say that I hung up on you, you're lying. That's pathetic. 908?
What's up, Zach?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, I think I called in the other day, but nah. So, again, I listened to your stream, like, I think about an hour before kickoff when you came on, and literally as Dick Butkus died, I said, yo, this is unbelievable, because, like you said, Ron Rivera, I think Dick Butkus was a linebacker, and so was Rivera, and I said,
right.
So the night of linebacker dies, they're playing the team that has, the coach was a former linebacker for that team.
And like I showed, Ron Rivera got his 31st loss tonight with his team, and Dick Butkus equals 31 in what we refer to as the most pure cipher. I mean, how perfect is that?
Yeah, I mean, you can't even make this up anymore. I told myself, because last weekend the Bears, they basically handed the Broncos their first win, and I said, you know what? I told myself before the game, like even before you streamed that Dick Butkus died, I said, yeah, you know what? I think they're going to win anyway, but then that death just confirmed it for me. I said, yeah, they're going to win this, and they're probably going to win going away, and I said it wouldn't be and we know he's got the 6 rings. And Justin Fields, he's 3-12 at home, 3-12 on the road now. He's 6-24, and then obviously there's the 24 with the Kobe and stuff. So I was curious, like, do you think that this could sort of unfold into something? Because I've seen your videos on Jordan, like, from the past month or two. Do you think that this could be like a setup for, what's to come with the NBA season just around the corner? I think training camp just started.
Here, let's just pause for a second and talk about Jordan and some recent things. For people who don't know this, I've covered all of this, but let's go back to the USA Jordan box score, 110-62. Let's go back to this. United States beat Jordan 110-62. Now, who knows what Michael Jordan's birthday is? Michael Jordan's birthday is 17/2, like 172. You had 172 points in this game on August 30th. Check this out. From August 30th to, I forget, is it upcoming birthday? Yeah, it's his upcoming birthday is a total span of 172 days. And this number's not arbitrary, you guys. The Jesuit motto at Merum Dei Gloriam equals 172. For example, another thing, Kansas City Chiefs equals 172. Last year we documented how Len Dawson died 172 days before the Super Bowl, and he died on Kobe Bryant Day, who's from Philly, and then that was your Super Bowl. Chiefs versus Eagles. And again, the Eagles play in Lincoln Financial Field, and it was the first Super Bowl on Lincoln's birthday, and he freed the slaves, and it was the first Super Bowl between 2 black quarterbacks in terms of the language of the culture, where we refer to people by colors that they're really not, whether it's white or black. But anyway, you had that, and then also, here's the one that I'm really concerned about for Jordan. Michael Jordan, Italy, July 6th. Michael Jordan was in Italy on July 6th this year, and hold on. Michael Jordan in Italy on July 6th. Here's why this matters. From the Pope's birthday, of course, the Pope's in Italy. Every year I'm talking about weird stuff going down on July 6th. It was 201 days after Jordan's birthday. Now, Jordan is in charge of the Charlotte team, which is the only 201 team in the entire league. And again, if you guys just follow me if you're new here.
He sold his stake.
Huh? Or I can't even.
He sold his stake this year, I think.
Okay, well, Charlotte Hornets is 201. He's been part of the only 201 team there is in the NBA.
You're right.
And again, Pope Francis is the only pope to ever live in Suite 201 in the Vatican, and his birth name's Jorge Mario Bergoglio. And again, he's the first Jesuit pope, and the Jesuit order's 201, and their founder's Ignatius Loyola 201. And anyway, there's this big pattern with the pope in 201, and a lot of times it leads to death. A.K.A. like Joe Biden Jr., who died exactly 201 days before the Pope's birthday, and at age 46, only for Joe Biden to be inaugurated as number 46 on the 201st day of the nation's age, 20/1. And if you think about it, that's why that's his inauguration day, because the Jesuits run this nation. But, again, Kobe's death has a lot of 201s in it. He was buried in Corona del Mar as coronavirus was kicking off, and from his last birthday to the day the pandemic was declared was 201 days later. And remember, the NBA was shut down on that day, and a big 113 ritual on the 11th day of the third month. The only 113 team in the league is the Utah Jazz, who Kobe finished his career against. And Kobe Bryant's 113, and Michael Jordan's 113, and the National Basketball Association's 113. And when Jimmy Butler came out the other day with the new hairdo, it was 113 days from losing in the finals, and so on and so forth. And there was a bit, I think the finals ended, what was it, like 113 days after Jokic's birthday, if I remember right?
113 days after Jokic's
birthday. And it was on number 41's birthday, and he was the 41st pick of the draft, and Miami Miami got outscored by Denver by 41 points in the series as they lose 4-1. So, and it was right there with Connecticut, too. Remember, during the whole college basketball tournament, they kept showing you the commercial with Hashim Thabit's jersey at UConn, and then UConn outscored all of their opponents by 120 points. By 120 points, they outscored their opponents for the whole tournament in Connecticut's 120th season. And again, we hit a nice future with UConn because we saw in the opening round that they had the biggest ritual for the 84th tournament. They took down the Nets in the first game, because supposedly they got snagged while they were on 84 points. And we also identified before that game was even played how they were one of 7 teams that had an 84 narrative to win it. So
Charlie actually coached up here in my state. He coached at St. Benedict's Prep, and obviously that was a dead giveaway too.
Yeah. So.
And no, but back to what I said about Jordan, like, and you also, he went to North Carolina, which is in Chapel Hill. It's just, you see the words and, they come at you, and it's just like, man, like, something weird will happen to him. And I mean, if the call comes, it's over for him. And God willing, I hope it doesn't happen. But, I mean, they can take anyone at any age, at any time they want. And he's 60 years old, and I mean, if his time comes, it's done. Like, there's nothing we can do about it. And there's a lot of evidence pointing that he's closer to the end than he is, than we'd like. It's just
here's what I want people to understand about if Jordan does go at age 60 this year. If that happens, if Jordan dies at age 60. He probably knows it's coming. It might be why he cried so hard at Kobe's memorial. But here's the connection where this all fits together. Through Moses Malone, I'm going to make all this make sense if Jordan goes at 60, and that does have something to do with him scoring 60 points tonight. The name Malone equals 60, right? Moses Malone, drafted by Utah. When you think Malone in Utah, you probably think of Karl Malone, which is also 60. That's a side topic. But look at Daryl Dawkins.
Yeah.
Daryl Dawkins is also 60. And again, Kobe scored 60 in his last game. And again, right before that season happened, look, here's how messed up it is. Kobe in the 2-1-3, Moses Malone died 213 days before Kobe's last game, okay? 2-1-3 area code.
Yeah.
But Moses Malone, Daryl Dawkins, high school. Kobe, high school. So, here's another 60 word. Holy. The word holy is 60, as in the Holy Bible, as in Numbers are holy, as in the 4th book of the Bible is called Numbers. Again, Kobe was 4 when Moses Malone won the championship and said, "Fo, fo, fo." And then Kobe died 4 years after, he died 4 years after Daryl Dawkins and Moses Malone. Well, this NBA season is going to mark 4 years, 4 seasons since Kobe died. So now we're getting to 4 seasons later, and Jordan is 60 right now as this season begins. And again, when you spell out 4 as a word, it equals 60. Mount Rushmore, you have 4 presidential faces. They're each 60 feet long. When Trump just got his 4th indictment in the 4th state, Georgia, 2 days before he got it's when the news broke that he was going to get it. That was his 60th day of his age. And this is the upcoming 60th presidential election. And Donald Trump, for example, equals 60. But again, 4 is 60. And 4 is the number associated with death. And you go back to the 1860 election. Lincoln elected and then assassinated in the 4th month, April. JFK elected in 1960. He was the 35th president, like Catholics 35, killed at age 46, like how Catholics 46, but he was also the 44th term president, 4-4, number of death, and of course, as we know, kills 44, shootings 44, etc. But 4, 60, these numbers are connected to death throughout history. That's why they also show up with Daryl Dawkins, Moses Malone dead at 60. And by the way, Daryl Dawkins died at age 58. You see how Kobe Bryant's 58 as well? Yeah, so is Moses Malone. Well, yeah. Moses Malone is 58 in reverse, 41's forwards, just like Kobe Bryant is. And how can all this be, you guys? You have to think about how all this can be. Look up. In 1982, the year Kobe turned 4, Moses Malone did his ad with Nike where he's holding the staff that becomes the snake. Again, Kobe with the after death shoe and then dies the season the Lakers get AD. All of this shit is connected. The story of Nike that they just put out this year with Matt Damon, that's a bullshit story, okay? That's not the real story of how Nike came to take over the world. It's just like all the other bullshit you get. These things are all part of the cabal. The corporations, the brand, the league, all of it. It's all part of this network.
Oh yeah, they're all taking orders from their masters. Like, they're not real CEOs or CFOs or anything. They have people they answer to.
Yeah.
And no, I just found it interesting just looking at the numbers and with the NBA season coming up, and given it was like the Bears tonight, I just saw like all the numbers, and like I could, see like with the NBA coming around with Jordan and stuff, and I remembered all your videos, and God willing, I hope Michael doesn't go, but I mean, I have had feelings ever since I watched the movie, like you said, and then I watched your video too, that I think the end is a lot more closer than the majority of society believes. People think, 60 is whatever, it's young, but in Jordan's world, the contract he signed to get all this glory and fame, his day will come, and it may be. I believe it's sooner. I believe it's a lot sooner than people are anticipating, and when it does happen, I'll have you to give credit to for that.
Well, you know what? I'd like to think that we're wrong, and he's going to live a long, healthy life and get to be as old as Dick Butkus. But again, we're just saying if he goes at 60, it's just part of this ongoing ritual of all these other men who've already been killed. Jordan, you shouldn't have to be. For the person out there who's like, well, if Jordan doesn't die, it's all bullshit. You're a moron if that's you sitting there right now. We're showing you what's going on and why Jordan could be the next part of this ongoing secret. I forgot to mention, in the Bible, Moses, as in Moses Malone, he sees the promised land from Jordan. You see? That's the other reason it's concerning that Jordan's 60 right now. Moses Malone sees the promised land from Jordan.
Yeah, and Jordan's born in 63, the year of the I Have a Dream speech, and he plays for the Dream Team. It's almost like it's almost too perfect how they get this all to line up. And I don't understand how people can be so invested in this. And, like you said, it's a cult. That's what it is. Like, society does not care about anything important. They want to be entertained and they want a distraction. But the reality is that these distractions are really just gross rituals, sacrifices. Like, something has to happen for these games to be played. They're not happening, it's just, scheduled, for the world to watch. Things are happening behind the scenes for these games to be played.
Indeed. Hey, friend, I appreciate the call. Absolutely. I appreciate it. I'm going to let somebody else get on here because we do have other callers, but thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll get off.
All right, you have a good night. All right, 920.
Well, you guys are a lot better at it than me.
Oh, okay. Here we have Truth Vibration Podcasts. So, all right, state your piece. What do you want to say?
Hey, what's up, pussy? How's it going, bro?
How you doing?
How's that vegan food? How's them sticks and twigs and shit? What's going on with that?
Boy.
Okay, so again, you guys have become trolls. Why are you trolling the work now?
No. It's not troll. It's called that you're a CIA agent working with Gianna Bianchini and Mark Anderson. That's what is going on here. Is
that would be a trollish thing to say.
I thought you were better than
So why would the CIA have me on here tonight exposing their number one distraction for all of America, the National Football League? Then
No.
Yeah,
Don't spin the narrative, Zach. Don't spin the narrative, you liberal motherfucker.
That's how you get all your money.
You're here to
You are
stir the
such a
pot.
distraction.
You're here to destroy people that are actually out to look for the
okay,
truth.
how am I destroying people? How am I destroying people?
Fucking fuck with them.
Who am I fucking with?
How much, Zach, at the beginning?
How much do you make a year, Zach?
Not enough.
Yeah, I'm sure not enough. That's why you bought another
You
house
need
for
more
$10.
money! More money! You're full of shit.
Just get
Here. Let me ask you: How much money should I make in a year? How much money should I make in a year for doing this? For working 24/7 around the clock?
This is your lowest year since 2019.
How much money should I make? Tell me how much money I should make. Let me know how much I should make.
You made a little over $1 million.
I've never made over $1 million. I wish.
You almost getting $5 million.
I've never made anywhere near $1 million in a year. False.
Dude, we got your tax records right here.
Okay, tell me about my tax records.
Your tax records right on Twitter.
All right.
What do you want me to do, Zach? All I had to do is call the Secretary of State of Washington and find out your tax records.
Okay, do it.
call it an open records request.
Do it.
You got
But before you do that, how much should I make in a year?
How much are you going to give up? You filed your taxes on August 26th for your LLC. It was a little over $1 million.
No, it wasn't. That's such a lie. That's such a lie.
But dude, the amount of money that you make doesn't matter. It's that you said what you were going to do with the money for this community.
And I've done exactly what I said I was going to do since we revised the plan.
No, okay, excuse me.
You're a fraud.
You are funded by somebody else. That's not just Patreon. Yeah, dude, that's no way you're getting that from Patreon and donations. From somewhere else. Who else? Gianna? Money Networks? What's going on, bro?
Okay, so you guys don't have anything serious to say. I'm going to move on to another call if you guys can't make a better argument. This is trollish.
Pussy, want to fucking fake soy boy, little fucking fake fucking devil worship bullshit.
No, nobody in the comment section's impressed by anything you're doing. Not even the trolls like it.
Who cares? Because all your comments are fucking bullshit. Yeah, whatever.
Okay, so tell me what your take is on the Dick Butkus thing.
Really? Why did you get rid of all your mods, Zach? Because they're all a bunch of fucking assholes.
No, because I just don't. I don't like everyone getting blocked all the time. Like it's like last night I was asking people not to block anyone. They're still getting blocked. If I'm just gonna let people moderate the chat themselves. Anybody can block somebody who's a troll. So everybody's their own moderator now. That's what I decided.
This isn't trolling, dude. This is exposing you. Zach, you're fucking shit with the real deal. Your ass would have been assassinated by now. Think about that.
Here, my only regret is, for you guys who don't know, one of these guys was recently homeless, and I did a promotion for him and helped him raise like $1,000 to not be homeless, and now here's the way they pay their gratitude. I helped him raise $1,000, so now he trolls the channel. All right, adios. Again, I mean, real story, the guy got in jail and was in there, and then he came back, and his life was fucked up, and he couldn't get a job, so we helped raise some money, and then he got established again. And now he's trolling the channel. It's like, great, I helped raise money for a troll. Fucking awesome. And it's not the first time it happened, unfortunately. And again, it's people like that. So it's like, this is what makes you want to give up on the world. It's like, why am I trying to help people out? I mean, help a guy out, now he's a troll? Okay, great. 513?
Yo, what's up? Right, what's Lou? How Lou?
Yeah, it's hard to hear your call. Can you change your audio?
I said, what's up? This Lou.
What's up, man?
Lou called last night.
Yeah, what's up?
Just got out of work and shit. Today, I want a couple of dollars. I want some money and shit off the mileage. But those guys before me that just called, they full of shit, man. Who is that? Who is the guys that just called?
They're nobodies essentially. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, they fried. But yeah, today we won. I won a couple dollars, 100 plus. A couple other guys I know on Twitter, they won off the knowledge. But it was and then the Dick Butkus thing really pushed it for everybody. I didn't really think of the Dick Butkus thing. I already had my thoughts before the game, before I heard about the Dick Butkus, but that was just a nail in the coffin.
Well, congratulations. Congratulations. I'm glad to hear you guys won nicely. Well done.
Yeah, a lot of guys, y'all cashed out because they had a narrative, and then the Dick Butkus thing. After that was nailed the coffin. 14s on the board for Chicago, and
35 Thursday, right? 35 Thursday.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this Lou, just call it in, say what's up, keep it up or whatnot. Man, you got hella haters, bro. That shit crazy. Niggas call in every day. Somebody call in. Somebody FBI agent. Blase.
Yeah. I know.
Go ahead.
No, I know I do. I have a lot of annoying haters, and I think a lot. I don't know what to say about the last two who just called in, but part of the reason there is a network that's been harassing me nonstop since 2015. And again, if you haven't heard me say it before, there's another person in the world who's aware of this knowledge because he was born into it because he's Jewish, and he makes people sign an NDA and he charges them thousands of dollars to learn what I teach. And then the funny thing is he's not as good with the knowledge as I am, and he got his ass handed to him in 2016 by myself. And it seems like he has a network of trolls who've been harassing me ever since because I've put a dent in the operation they had. So that's the reality.
Yeah, and then, like you said, you got people getting paid to troll you. If you got motherfuckers, getting paid to troll you, you know you're in the spot. And then I don't really know nobody else. Like I'm into the, they call it conspiracy theories, but I'm into everything. And I don't know nobody else that I watch daily or I can go to. But like, it's a couple guys out there that's doing good work. But as far as the Gematria side, you the only one. So no wonder why motherfuckers troll me left and right, and they just call it in talking about type results. Like, damn, y'all going that deep? Like, damn, what the fuck? It's crazy. They gotta be getting paid. They gotta be agents to go that deep into somebody's personal.
Of course, I've been explaining this for years, man. I mean, they live on my Patreon page 24/7. They harass me at all hours of the day. I mean, nobody would do that unless they were being paid to do that. I literally have a network of paid-for trolls. It's annoying.
That's how you know that's deep, bro. That's deep. That's deep. That in itself is deep. Fuck all the other shit. We got somebody getting paid from higher people to troll and cause confusion and cause disbelief. Yeah, that's how you know you're doing something right. But yeah, today was I ain't hitting a minute. Been a while, and I'm not just here for the betting, but like I'm trying to get my increase as a man in the society. So do whatever I can. I look at it like, we breaking it. We know the game's rigged, so we just gotta take advantage and shit like that. But everybody don't believe that it's rigged or Gematria is real. But that's them. That's on them. If they want to believe it, keep it pushing. Do what you gotta do. Give thanks. Feel me? And keep pushing.
Indeed.
So man, I'm glad I caught the show. I was wondering if you was I watched the highlights for the game first, and then I tuned into the show. I was wondering if you're still going, and I'm glad you were.
I am.
I'm gonna try to call it. I'm gonna try to call it more often.
All right, we'll call us again. I'm gonna let somebody else get on, but again, congrats on the win, and don't spend it all in one place, man. You have a good night. All right, take care. What's up, Victor?
Hey, what's going on, Luke?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. Interesting game tonight, huh?
It's another one of these things where I'm like, how does nobody even blink an eye that Dick Butkus is announced dead before the game? And then it's not just that, too. It's like, okay, the Bears haven't won in forever, and then it's an old formula thing that used to be, so accurate. It's not as reliable as it used to, but we used to always just document how when streaks get to 14, how they almost always end there, because the word end equals 14. Football also equals 43, the 14th prime. But the Bears ended a 14-game losing streak. They haven't won for almost a year, and then they just happen to win on a prime time when Dick Butkus dies. And not to mention the word dead equals 14 as well. But yeah, what's your take on it, Victor?
Well, first of all, I just want to say I appreciate the mainstream media just putting out that story right before game time, because for people who pay attention to things like that, they rarely help us. 9 times out of 10, they're pushing stories that kind of want to lead you a certain way. But when they drop that, for the people that are awake and paying attention to these types of things, it was pretty much all you needed to see.
For the record, I just want to say I was on the Bears to win tonight before Dick Butkus died because I'm just looking for 35 Thursday. It wins. Last year, the 35 narrative only failed one time the entire season when it was on the board. So 35 Thursday. So you know what, though? The sad thing is that at some point in the future, it's not going to be as consistent as it is now because that's the sad part of people learning this knowledge is too many people are winning with it. And they got to switch up the game ever so slightly. They'll continue to rig it with Gematria, but it's just like 35 Thursday at some point. It'll just be like a year where damn, 35 Thursday failed the first 2 weeks of the year. What's going on? So.
Yeah, that'll happen sometimes. It's not that's 100%. But, just to add on to some of the things you were saying about 51, I'm not really sure if you mentioned this or not because I didn't catch the entire video, but obviously you're probably aware Commanders equals 51 in the rule for S, right?
Oh yeah, if you put the rule with S, Commanders goes from 42 to 51. That is also true.
Yeah, so it was like the perfect team for this to be announced before, as well as if you look at the Gematria calculator, like Thursday and then 50 when you write it out, it's a super match, Thursday and 51.
I didn't realize that. And you know that they last played 51 weeks ago, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Here, I gotta check that out. I didn't realize that 51 and Thursday were a match. That's a new observation to me.
Yeah, and just kind of to add insult to injury, because I like to pay attention to these things. So World Bear Day is actually on March 23rd, which, if you write it over in Europe, as they do on other side of the earth, it's 233, which is the 51st prime. So it's like...
Perfect.
Yeah. So, the Bears today plus the points was a free bet, but... if you wanted to get a little aggressive on it, that money line was extra juicy. So shout out to the National Fixed League, man.
Yeah. By the way, another thing about Dick Butkus' death, he also died exactly 65 days before his birthday, and he joined the Bears in 65. So.
Yeah. See, these are the things we should really, the highlight and the focus of this video should really be about appreciating these type of games, because this is like some of the best evidence you can have to kind of getting your point across. Outside of everything else that's going on right now, this game was super, super obvious, and it's also one of those instances where, if you want to use this knowledge the right way, a 2x or a 3x multiple in your investment tonight, it's a great thing in less than a 3-hour period. So, people should really focus their energy and efforts on that type of stuff, as opposed to, everything else that's kind of going on.
Yeah, you really do wonder what's wrong with people. It's just like, I can understand if you're being paid to troll me, if like that's the way you make a living. Okay, I get it. Everybody's got to pay the bills, but it's like for anybody else, it's like you're hating on what we're showing you. I mean, we're literally, again, for people who say, well, now you charge. I put out a lot of information for free. I pretty much gave you guys the pick for free at the beginning of the game. I just told you plug in Dick Butkus and Richard Butkus in the Jewish Gematria cipher and look at what the Bears record can become. So, anyway.
Yeah, definitely some irrefutable facts that were pointed out, but glad it played out the way it did. A good portion of the community should have, padded their bankroll, built their bankroll, took home some profit, and that's really not the most important thing, but it is a priority for people that want to use this information the correct way. So, yeah, shout out to numerology equals 51, numerology and 51. Always gotta love that.
Here, I'll tell people the next thing to research in light of what I just said about 65. Again, there's a city that we call the 65 City, and it's Philadelphia because it's established on the day leaving 65 days left in the year. And again, this man was in a TV show called Vegas, which is where the Super Bowl is. And you might recall, you remember what happened when Vegas became a brand new football team? You remember what Philadelphia Eagle became like? Somehow he's like the father of the play. I forget what they referred to him as, but a former Eagle and his kid drowned in the hot tub. You remember that story?
I do remember the story. I don't remember who it was, though.
It was Randall Cunningham. Randall Cunningham's 2-year-old dies in the hot tub as they're found in the Vegas Raiders. They made a big deal about it at the time. And that was the 101st NFL season, and Las Vegas Raiders is 101, and Philadelphia is also 101. So,
yeah. Definitely awesome. You can shoot stuff off the hip like that. So shout out to you, brother. Don't worry about the negativity. It's always going to be there regardless of your efforts, so just keep your head up and keep doing what you're doing. All
right. Victor's got haters too, man. You do a good job. You'll definitely develop the haters. So
yeah, they're gonna be there, man. So just use it as fuel, Zach. I'll see you. Take
all
care, all right?
Take care, Vic. Thanks, man. 215 Philadelphia.
Take care. Thank you.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Zach, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling all right. What's up?
Oh man, but my thing with this would be, I've been sharing the knowledge a lot. Like I literally gave, like after being on the Patreon and everything, like I literally laid out the entire game on my group chat with people or whatnot, and it'd be like the only time they only willing to accept the knowledge is if they win a bet. And it's like when you lose a bet, it's like everything just goes out the window or whatnot when you try to express or try to explain to them, like, you give example after example after example. Like, I'll give the examples with the NFL, I give the examples with the MLB, I give the example with the NBA. Like, I go through every single solid sports league and show the same thing over and over and over again. But it's like a cognitive dissonance with people, to whereas like when you explain them things to them, they still revert back to like still trying to have conversations with you. So I get it, like you see stuff like it's kind of really annoying with people who like.
But again, let's just stop. Anybody, like, it's like we just showed something that's undeniable, right? The Bears record became Dick Butkus' name for their all-time franchise record, plus everything else we showed. Like that, anybody who has a brain will be like, okay, that is undeniable, and that is definitive proof of how rigged this shit is, and I need to learn about this. The reason more people don't do that is because they have this thing in their head that wants to not believe it and dismiss it, and they're looking for a reason to not believe it because they want to believe what they've been believing their whole life, that the game is legit, they like the game. They're looking for an excuse to bullshit themselves and to go back and wasting their time with this evil, rigged bullshit, which is what it really is. And again, it's what I noticed when I was a child is that most people just aren't very smart. And that's why I've been pretty much like floating above ground for my whole life, just breezing through life, school real easy, making money real easy, surviving real easy, not knowing how to eat and take care of myself real easy while everyone else is just struggling. And I'm like, shit, what the fuck's wrong with all these people? And at the end of the day, it's because they're not very smart. And I hate to put it that way, but those are just facts.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. People aren't really smart because a lot of this stuff, and it'd be like sometimes you'll get callers and like I understand like the annoying stuff and like this stuff is really so easy. It's so easy. Like they got TV shows that's out and that's controlled too. Are you smarter than the fifth graders? This stuff is like first and second grade type knowledge. Like you can't add together 1 + 2 and 2 + 2 and put a letter with it. It makes sense out of it. Like I don't get how is that so complicated to comprehend for people. Like it's really that simple. Like how could you not accept like when I said DJ Moore can get those 2 touchdowns a day and he would hit 13 and 14 and then you'll show like the 4 base ones or whatnot. And they'll say that you making stuff mean what you want it to mean. You can't do that. It's like you can't make numbers equate to what you want it to equate to. You can't make letters equate to what you want it to equate to. But people don't have, like the knowledge to, go back and just, look at stuff, and they still stuff on like politics is real and sports is real. And these are like real people doing these real things, and they'll have conversations with you like voting is still cool, and the defenses are great, and the offenses are great. Like it's just it really do get annoying after a while. It does get annoying, and it's probably like a lot of people are that can contest today. They are probably spreading the knowledge or whatnot. But it gets to a point where you just be like, F it. Like let society die. If they want to stay in the state of stupidity and just be dumb, you just gotta let them remain dumb, man.
Exactly. Here, case in point about all the dummies. Look at all the dummies in my chat all the time, just talking all this shit, not listening, trying to attack me. It's like, why are you trying to attack me? All I showed you was valuable knowledge to help you get ahead in this world and not get your energy harvested and stolen from you, how to take advantage of the rigged sports games. And it's like, what are these people really mad about? They're mad that I showed them the reality of their world and it fractured their understanding, and now they must be unhappy about that. They liked it better when they were in this delusion, being lied to. Now they're mad at me because I showed them the truth. I mean, you can't make sense of these people. So I don't even try to at this point.
I appreciate you, Zach, man. You keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm here. I'm still keep spreading the knowledge for you. Enjoy your night, man.
All right, you too. Thank you. Take care. Yeah, some of these people's phones are not that loud. I just bought this recent Bluetooth speaker to make it louder, but then I can't figure out how to hook up the damn thing to the Bluetooth speaker. I've been reading the directions and the sound doesn't come out of it. 708.
Hey, Zach, long time. I haven't talked to you in a minute. How you doing?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, man, nothing. Just great deco for the Thursday night football. I sent you an email. Did you see the Commander kicker? He missed the field goal, 46-yard field goal.
That was a little tribute to Chicago.
Yeah. I told my friend, I was like, watch him miss this field goal. When people don't believe you, then when they turn out, they look at you, they try to say you're lucky. I'm like, man, it's not about luck.
No, it's not about luck. It's not about luck.
Knowing what's going on.
Exactly. It's like the World Cup. What did we lay out for the World Cup? We said Argentina's going to win the World Cup. It's clearly synced with the Pope and Maradona's death, and Argentina won it in '86, and it's the first ever World Cup ending the day after, in December, the day after the Pope turns 86. And we gave two scenarios: Argentina versus France, because he's Pope Francis, where the Jesuits are from, and we point out France could fall to 2-2 in the 22nd World Cup in the end of 2022 when there's 22 men on the field. And I said if it wasn't that, the other scenario was Argentina-England because of the death of the Queen. And again, people made a lot of money. One guy won over $40,000 off that information. I got a guy in the chat right now saying that the sports picks suck. Again, I've had better years, but again, I told everybody last year for the Super Bowl in the AFC it was going to be either the Bills or the Chiefs who won the Super Bowl. I said I didn't have any other teams to win the Super Bowl besides those two last year. Chiefs won it, and I gave it to everybody for free, essentially, when I showed how Len Dawson's death on Kobe Bryant Day was perfectly synced with the Super Bowl. Had I not had to hurry off to New York like days later to drive across the nation, it probably would have sunk into my brain more, like, wait a minute, I need to think more about him dying on Kobe Bryant Day, because that was the whole Super Bowl right there. It was KC, Philly. But, and again, college basketball, we circled 7 teams before the tournament out of 60-some that had a narrative for the 84th tournament. One of those teams was Connecticut. Connecticut had the biggest 84 ritual in the first round. I made the same point over and over and over to everybody on Patreon about UConn and 84. Sure enough, they won it, and they had big odds to win it. Didn't I give a free video in the spring about how it could be the Nuggets year once they did the Trump ritual at the courthouse with the Joker? And I was like, okay, this is synced up with the playoffs getting started and Joker's on Denver and Batman Joker thing. And then what do you know? Next thing you know, Denver's winning it in the Skull and Bones ritual, all the shit I talked about in April. I wasn't certain about Denver, but again, I had to cover a few spaces on the roulette board. But for anyone who's saying we're having a shit year, Philly. Was Philly not in the World Series last year? Because I know we had Philly in spring training to be in the World Series. We said it's either Philly or the Braves out of the National League. So anyways, saying that we have shit picks, I mean, that's just in the last year. And in years past, we've done even better. Am I lying about anything?
No, you're not. It's just that success breeds more problems.
But it's just like people just hate all the time. People expect me to be perfect now. But again, we've had a lot of great picks. We've had a lot of great futures, and we'll continue to do that because we know the way the game's rigged, and I'm showing you guys tonight. If you're not smart enough to apply the knowledge, that's not my fault. Don't take it up with me.
Yes, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not necessarily. I'm talking to all these trolls in the chat talking all this shit right now.
Oh yeah, well they gotta discredit you. They can't. I mean, like you said, they're paid to try to discredit you so that you don't become bigger than what they want you to become.
Well, I mean, they've made that impossible with the algorithms. We're going to reach. Look, I mean, I'm on 3 channels right now, and there's 430 people in here between the 3 channels. Once upon a time, if you guys weren't here after Super Bowl 55, one of the years we nailed both teams from before the start of the season. That stream after the Super Bowl was approaching 10,000 people in the room, and they shut down the whole stream, and I couldn't even get back on YouTube for 48 hours. This year, what did they do? This year, they suspended my channel for 2 weeks, the week before the Super Bowl. I didn't even do anything. And that's how they're suppressing what I'm trying to achieve. And then all you guys are here trolling too, on top of all the censorship and shit I have to put up with. You guys are all punks. Truth Vibration Podcast and Novelty, 2 homeless losers who I helped raise $1,000 for because they're worthless bums and can't do themselves. Now they're here trolling. Again, these are the kind of people we have in this world. And then you guys wonder why I rant about how I don't disagree with the Illuminati's plan to depopulate? All you guys who get butthurt about that, it's probably because you're fucking losers, like the same ones I'm ranting about. Again, take a look at the world and how many sorry-ass motherfuckers are out here. Way too many sorry-ass motherfuckers. Is anyone going to care if Novelty and Truth Vibration Podcast don't exist tomorrow? Their moms won't even fucking care. So...
all I can tell you is, man, you do great work. Keep up the good work. I try to stay a little focused on the work so I can do some of the stuff myself. I've been a little bit busy lately, so I can't really dive deeper like I want to. But I definitely try to keep up with it.
Well, I appreciate the support, man. Thank you.
Hey, anytime.
All right, you have a good night.
You too.
All right, take care. Yeah, I can't tell you how many people that I've helped out and done this for, and the next thing I know, they're trolling me. I'm like, is this the game to send like worthless fucking losers to me and then harass me? It's not a tactic that works, but it is annoying. 215.
Oh, I forgot to ask you too, Zach. It's the same person again. I don't know if you ever know about. I know it might be a little bit off topic, but did you know about the Eddie Rivera case that was in Philadelphia?
Off the top of my head, that's not ringing a bell.
Yeah, that's been like a real serious thing. They've been looting and everything. And a lot of people getting arrested for it and stuff.
Well, here, look at this. Look at this. I just looked it up. He was killed August 14th, 2023. A date with 65 numerology. Philadelphia, 65. Remember how they solved the boy in the box murder last year after 65 years? It's always 65 in Philadelphia.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was some bullshit behind it, but I just didn't get the chance to actually get the. I've been meaning to ask you on the Patreon, but I didn't really want to keep getting off topic about it. But yeah, that really needed to be addressed because I know it was some type of like mind thing or whatnot, with like a lot of these boule policemen that been on TV, boule warriors or whatnot.
Look at this detail. On the Jesuit order's birthday, August 15th, Philadelphia police changed their story, stating that Irizarry was actually in the car when he was shot. Again, you can just this is who's playing the games.
And they made the same cop who was allegedly the one that had murdered him. They made the person that's supposed to be the judge. She dismissed them of all the charges or whatnot, which was like real mind blowing. They put that on TV. And afterwards, that's when all the people out there started looting, going a little crazy or whatnot. A lot of people been getting arrested, which probably a lot of them folks was probably actors too, who was probably going out doing the looting or whatnot, making other people join them. So people really are getting arrested behind it when they don't know that they joined and going against some bullshit that isn't really occur. So, I just wanted to really bring that to your attention because I didn't really see if you made a video on it or not, though, but that was really it, though. But now I know.
I'll look into it more. I missed that whole story somehow, but I'll look into it. So.
Oh, that's cool. All right, man. Appreciate you, Zach.
All right. Yep. Have a good night. Thank you. 773.
Hey, Zach, I just wanted to call in. I'm from Chicago, and I saw last week that, the Bears, they blew that game. I knew 14, what you taught us about 13 and 14. And I, right away, even before Dick Butkus on that, the day after Sunday, on Monday, I was like, okay, I'm going to put, a nice heavy bet on him just because. And then Dick Butkus happened today. And I was like, even more. And I just wanted to call in and say thank you very much for the knowledge and fuck all these trolls. Keep doing you and never give up on this shit because you're helping a lot of people out.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Zach. We appreciate you.
All right, man. You have a good night. Congrats on the win.
You too.
770. 770.
Well, so yeah, I think I've been having my skeptics on you, I think you've been hit or miss, but I think today you hit very big for me. Hit very big for me. I remember you told me before that how the black quarterbacks always goes off against Native American teams. Like, I remember Jalen Hurts went off against the Chiefs, Native American logo, 3 TDs. And for some reason, all the black QBs have been going off against the Washington Redskins. Russell went off week 2. Hurts went off week 3. And now Fields, another black quarterback, went off week 4. And I bet like $50 doing like $250.
So tell me something, though, real quick. Have I been hit and miss on Thursday, or have I given out winning knowledge every single Thursday this season?
I don't know. Your record's been kind of off.
If you don't know, then you must not listen. I've given out winning knowledge every single Thursday this season. Every single season. Or every single Thursday has been winning advice. And some weeks we weren't as confident as others. I said you can skip the week. Like my only bet that I advised week 1 was a small bet on the Lions to upset the Chiefs. That was the stronger 35 narrative. But the concern in that week was that the Chiefs won, they would have got their 35th win in week 1. So you did have 35s on both sides. But no, we've given out winning knowledge every week. And again, if you pay attention to what I say, every single Sunday, if you're just playing the best narratives and you're just doing straight bets, you've won at a high percentage. Week 1, what were the games I liked the most in week 1 on Sunday? I liked the big Tampa Bay upset. I liked the Rams upset in Seattle. I was even at the Seattle Stadium telling them why they were going to lose before the game. And who else did I like a lot that weekend? Saints, right? The next weekend, the game that did kill me was the Seattle game in Detroit because Carroll didn't get his 83rd loss there like I thought he would. But the other games we liked all came through. The weekend before that, all the games that we liked came through except for the Saints. And this past weekend, we had a lean on 10 games, 8 hit and 2 didn't. So, again, if you're sticking to the games that I'm the most confident about and you're smart, again, it's been a good season. If you're doing a parlay each week and one of those games is wrecked you, I mean, I can understand that. But again, the groups of games we've liked each week, we've been winning at a good percentage. And again, it's an intelligence thing. There's people who've been winning every weekend, and then there's other people who can't read that well and who don't have that good of logic, and people who maybe can't really follow information and patterns, and maybe like you, the 35 Thursdays slipping through your eardrums each week. But anyway, at least you won tonight. So anyway, and the other thing that's frustrating is, again, had I just kept this knowledge to myself, you guys, I guarantee I'd still hit as high of a rate as I did when I first started. You know, teaching it to people is what's diminished the percentage because a lot of people know about this now, and it's why there's like literally over 1,000 Patreons now that exist where people are teaching Gematria and Rig Sports. And a lot of those people have never given anything back to me. And again, I mean, most people are takers and very few people are givers. I'm a giver. That's why for 5 years, I sacrificed what I had and taught this knowledge for free and never raised a penny off it. Helped make a lot of people a lot of money before I raised a single dime for myself from teaching this. So that guy who just called in, I didn't like his whole tone, and I just sounded kind of like a beta loser. And that kind of guy makes me resent that I ever even shared the knowledge. Get off my program, beta. So anyway. You can say that we're participating in the ritual activity, but what we're really doing is we're exposing it more than it's ever been exposed, with definitive proof, something that was never done before I got here. And again, all you losers who come around and have a different perspective on it, again, it's because you're, like I just said, you're ungrateful losers, period. 412?
Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so I kind of have like an interesting take on if things are coincidental or not. As far as this is concerned, like, I feel like the way I think about coincidence when I break the word down means to coincide with something. So I think that it is a coincidence, but I don't think it's without significance. Like, I think that there is
a plan being implemented by, the Jesuits or whoever. But I don't know, like, obviously things happen, like Aaron Rodgers, that injury that happened on 9/11 was, like, definitely, like, they...
And again, let's go back to that. That was another, we said it was most likely Rodgers was going to win that game to become 11-1 at home as a starter, which he did, even though he hardly played, because it's the day leaving 111 days left in the year, and New York equals 111, like how we had the Mets in the World Series in spring training at 40-1 odds that season. And again, just same patterns over and over. And Aaron Rodgers' injury is a total hoax. I mean, you really think he got hurt?
Oh, he's already walking around again. Apparently.
Yeah, it's a total hoax. Yeah, he didn't even get injured.
Yeah. But I would like to know, how much of this do you think is just maybe the way that the universe or whatever works, and how much of it is like a planned conspiracy?
No, there's definitely a way that the universe works. Case in point, my dad, he's born on 94 date numerology, and then my birthday's 94 days after his, and my name in Gematria equals 94. And he recently just went to go talk to an accountant. He recently went to just go talk to an accountant, and an accountant just gave him a tip about somebody in town selling a business at a super discounted rate. And we went and talked to the man, and it turned out it's a father-son business from Portland. Like, my dad and I are from Portland, and they're out here too, but they want to leave. And they're practically giving away this business for free. And so my dad, who's retired but bored, he's like, let's do this. And I said, all right, we'll go in on it together. And the day we're going in on it together just happens to be the day leaving 94 days left in the year. So, yeah, that's the way it all worked out. It just came out of nowhere. So, I mean, that's the universe.
Yeah. It's just strange to me. Like, I just don't know where the conspiratorial aspect begins, and where, what's actual, universal, the universe is working. Like, I'm confused on, I can't tell. Obviously, this exposes the evil people that are behind what's going on, but I just don't,
Let's discern the obvious bullshit, okay? Let's discern the obvious bullshit and what's organic.
Okay.
Look at this CNN story today. Look at how stupid this story is. CNN writes 5 theories why Taylor Swift may be dating Travis Kelce on the 5th day of the month as NFL Week 5 starts. And then you get to this article. Look at how dumb the article is. Theory 1, Swift might have been flattered by Kelce shooting his shot. Theory 2, it just makes sense. Theory 3, it's totally on brand with Swift songs. Theory 4, she may know we need an escape right now. Theory 5, the most obvious reason. And you can just see, I mean, all of these things are like, what? This is just bullshit. But the Theory 5, the most obvious reason. Here's what it says. It's one sentence. Because she's a grown woman who is free to date whoever she wants. I mean, this is a stupid fucking article. Obviously, news by the numbers. And you can see how the news is Kabbalistic and numerically encoded and total bullshit and totally contrived every day.
Figured it out. They basically, I guess they basically play God and they copy off of the God.
Exactly.
And it's like a mockery of...
That is what, you guys, I wrote a book 6 years ago. That's what it says on page 1. How they're playing God by this Kabbalistic code. Again, there is something about numbers and the world we live in, and that's why the 4th book of the Bible is called Numbers, and it's why, books like this exist. Jewish wisdom in numbers. That there is something to it, but then there's also, again, people like a national emergency on 911, which is an obvious contrived bullshit mega lie meant to steer our lives.
In 6th grade, I called that in 6th grade. I was like, "This is." I didn't know anything about Gematria. It's like it's 911. Like I already knew that. It's nuts.
Yeah. So good for you, man. Yeah, you're ahead of the game. Just like when I was in 6th grade, I was ahead of the game. Not many people are.
Yeah, it sucks because everybody thinks you're fucking crazy or whatever. But what are you gonna do?
Well, you realize they think that because they're dumb, right?
I'll try not to be that mean anymore, but I mean, yeah, you're right.
Is it mean? Is it mean to be real and honest? I mean, it's an honest thing to say because it's true.
That's base as fuck, dude. You're right. Yeah, it's probably better to be mean because then people know what the hell, what
Yeah.
the deal is. You're
Yeah,
not,
read articles about
you know,
intelligence.
maybe I'm gonna start being meaner. You just change. You just change the whole game.
Yeah, no, they want society to be nice. Nice is a weak thing. Nice. People are nice and fake. You know, I just had to directly call somebody out. A guy, listen, like here, I'm going to tell you something I'm dealing with right now. This guy's texting me all the time at night about how somebody's bothering him with their videos that they're streaming out online, just acting like a weirdo and a lunatic. And he's texting me about it, and he actually knows the person. I'm like, why don't you confront them about it and talk to them since you know them instead of...
Yeah.
And then, you know, then he's getting mad at me because he's like, well, I didn't want to deal with them. I just want to talk to you about it. It's just like, I mean, what the fuck is this? That's not how men handle shit. Everyone's so indirect and passive-aggressive and fake and phony, and then they think I'm a bad guy because I'm honest and direct and will actually confront you if you're full of shit. So...
Yeah, it's a backward-ass world. It's crazy, but... Yeah, you're right. And honestly, I think that it's kind of loving in a way to be hateful, or not hateful, but to let people know they're being fucking idiots, because somebody's got to tell them.
Yeah, indeed.
And if you're indifferent or you're nice, you're not getting anything done. So yeah, so I'm gonna go beat up my neighbor because I'm getting tired. That's how I'm gonna start.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, appreciate the call. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Great talking to you.
All right, take care.
Work.
Yeah, and part of the other reason I don't need mods too is because I can just ban the trolls. So, I can see all trolls in all 3 channels here through this platform. And I've given some of the trolls an attempt to, you can leave 10 troll comments. The 11th troll comment, you're out of here. So, if that's all you can do, get the fuck out. And then the sad thing is they'll be back under a new troll name in 5 seconds anyway, but... Yeah, it's just pathetic. I mean, I really do wish I could know how many people have been paid X amount of dollars to troll me over the years. I guarantee you it's way more than I've made off the work, and again, Anyway, 702?
Yes, Zach. Yeah, I wanted to tell you that Justin Fields' 4 touchdown pass came through for the to get to 35. That was another great thing, especially to bet on that. I'm sure that paid a lot of money on that. That, and then also, I wanted to say I appreciate you being direct and honest to people, because that's kind of what society needs, to toughen up a bit and understand this knowledge.
Not a bit. It needs to toughen up a lot. People are like, if there's a scale of tough and overly sensitive, like we're at the all the way overly sensitive point. It's pathetic. And when I was growing up, like, I mean, it's just like I don't even know what the difference is between a guy and a woman anymore in terms of their emotional stability. So.
Yeah, no, definitely facts. I definitely feel that society is very soft, and but I think that's how they plan this shit. The controllers, they plan it this way. They do everything in their power to weaken the society, especially mentally. I mean, if you look around, the mental stability of society is at an all-time low.
Everything about humanity is at an all-time low, and that's because we've grown up in this age of convenience. Nobody's had to do anything to survive. It's just everything's so easy. Like even people who are poor and on welfare, they have big flat screens and nice shoes, and they can't afford good food, but they're full because they're full of Cheetos and junk food and processed shit, which is also why their mind's not working right. But just everything is way too fucking easy. And again, it's like I say, I mean, you look at the generation before World War II, you'd see like a 90-year-old, he'd be out like on bungee cords up at the top of a tree chopping at age 90, and he's down shoveling snow off a hill. You can't even get a 20-year-old to go outside today and even do anything. So, again, it's just like they've created this loser society because of how easy and convenient everything is, and that's all everybody wants, is just convenience and instant solutions, and God forbid I go to the gym and work off my fat ass. I just want some pill that's going to solve it for me. I mean, that's where society is. Nobody reads anymore. It's easier to just click a YouTube button and watch a screen. Oh, all my thinking's what that guy thinks. Oh, he said the Earth's flat, so yeah, the Earth's flat. I mean, that's where we are.
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. I mean, it's common sense has been erased. Common sense has just been completely erased. I mean, that's the biggest problem is that people don't use common sense. I mean, it's one thing not to have like a crazy amount of knowledge of something, but not to have common sense is just crazy to me. That's what's been crazy about this society. But and that's the thing with Gematria. If you really study it and actually listen to it, what you've been telling, what you've been teaching, you'll see that it's mostly common sense. This stuff, obviously, it gets a little more difficult when you get into the deeper riddles of things, but obviously on the core surface, it's common sense stuff, with these numbers. And that's the other thing is too, that I wanted to say is that, like when the riddles, like for instance, I've been using Gematria for years, because I've been following you for a few years now, but what I learned the most about this is for people that are betting, that's the thing is that we all know that they're scripting it to the point to where there's literally riddles for both sides on every game. So there's never 100% guaranteed riddle. I mean, I've seen great riddles that look like, this was a for sure bet and it didn't come through.
There's been games that look like one-way streets this year. There are a lot of games that are double-coded, but usually there's a number that's a lot more consistent and reliable. It's just like the Giants and the trick with the Giants and Seahawks Monday Night Football game was Giants in 25 is super-duper consistent, just like how the Giants were in Super Bowl 25. But Seahawks in 24 is also a good number, and you had a scenario where Geno Smith could get his 25th career win, or Daniel Jones could get his 24th win, plus 24 was a big number all week because 4 also equals 24. And then sure enough, the Seahawks won the game with 24 points as Geno Smith got his 25th win. And then it was like the point I made over and over, like 25 is such a good number with the Giants. We win with it all the time in baseball and football. And again, that number one. It's not perfect, but if all you ever did was play Giants 25, you'd win at least 75% of your bets.
Right. Which is what I always talk about. You know what's so funny? And look, it's funny because when it comes to sports betting, I work inside of a sports book right here in Vegas. And the funniest thing working there is the funniest thing because I'm literally I'm taking in bets for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars every single day. And, and I have arguments about people this all the time. I'm telling people like, yo, this shit is rigged. And people are like laughing at me when I'm telling them this shit's rigged. Like people still don't even think this shit is rigged. I'm like, how can they be that dumb? I'm sitting here telling them before they're putting the money in saying, hey, look, this shit is rigged. And they're laughing at me.
Well, you go and show them exactly, if you can get them to sit down and be like, look at this, look at what the Bears record became tonight, and show them like that there's this Gematria thing that they need to look into and say, how can it be that Richard Butkus equals 787 and Dick Butkus equals 682, and the Bears record became 787 and 682 tonight? I mean, how is that?
And let me do something today. Like today, for instance, I had a whole bunch of bettors come in today. And everybody, I mean, every single bet I was seeing that I was taking in was Commanders. And I'm just, and obviously I know the knowledge. So I'm just, I'm looking at the knowledge and I'm like, this is not adding up here. So it's like Vegas won in that sense too because they collected all the money from all the suckers, that just wanted to dump their money on the Redskins because they don't know this shit is rigged. They're thinking like, oh, the Bears are a bad team and this and that. Well, look, I understand that, but it's a fucking script.
That's how, exactly. And all the people that don't want to see it, they're going to keep getting hosed because that's exactly how they play the mind games with them.
Yeah.
Here, just to remind, so Dick Butkus, you guys, the last time we really talked about Dick Butkus on this channel was back in 2018, and it's because, remember when Harbaugh, the coach of Michigan, went and shook hands with the Pope? And then it was right before the NFL draft, and his tight end, Jake Butt. If you were on Wikipedia's page, Wikipedia had his name as Jake Dick Butt. Jake Dick Butt. For 2 weeks after the draft, they kept it as Jake Dick Butt. But, again, think about it. Tight end he plays. Dick Butt. Catholic Church. Harbaugh, Catholic, shaking hands with the Pope. Jake Butt, the tight end, was supposed to go in the first round, but he got drafted 145th overall. He fell to the 145th pick. Now, again, his coach had just met with the Pope, and look at the Gematria Catholic. Notice how it's 71 and 145, right? 71, 145. Again, there's 145 more chapters in the Catholic Old Testament than Protestant Old Testament. There's 46 books, another Catholic number. Look at Denver Broncos. He got drafted by the Denver Broncos, right? Denver Broncos is 71 like Catholic with the 145th pick. The Catholic Church, young men, raping them in the butt. Constant story. We got a new one out of Baltimore. Remember in Baltimore, the news broke on the 95th day of the year. Now they just had to file for Chapter 11 in Baltimore. And they filed for Chapter 11 179 days later, which is the 41st prime, another Baltimore number. But Jake Butt, then when he's in his NFL season, what happens? He supposedly tears his ACL on the Jesuit order's birthday. I mean, is this even a real injury? Or is this just another joke? Of course it's another fucking joke. That's what this whole fucking league is. So, anyway.
It's a total fucking joke. I was just looking up some videos just recently, actually, before I jumped in. There was a video like Aaron Foster even admitted it. One of the running backs that used to play for the NFL, he specifically stated that they would hand him a script at the beginning of every training camp. And it would tell, and on the script it would tell them the exact script of the season, how many touchdowns he would score every week. He would get injured on this week, and et cetera, et cetera. So it's a fucking script. It's definitely a fucking script.
Yeah.
And the players even know it's a fucking script. That's the funny thing.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed.
Yep. Yeah. All right, Zach, I'm going to let you get to the next call.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Well, once again, also Truth Seekers here, burning the midnight oil. We heard the callers who've made thousands of dollars tonight. How many tips have come in tonight? Absolutely zero. Absolutely zero tips tonight. That's the thing that's frustrating to me. How hard I've worked for 10 years, how I've given so much knowledge to people, helped so many people make so much money, did a lot of it for free, hardly charge anything on Patreon. Very few people ever tip. And then I turn on some fucking loser like Tim Pool who doesn't know shit about shit, who's famous for God knows what fucking reason. Little midget, ugly fucker who always wears a beanie no matter what season it is, who knows shit about shit. Guy makes like $10 gazillion in super chats every time he turns on fucking YouTube. What is going on in this world? 80864, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, my man? I just first off want to tell you, thank you. I support what you've done. I've been a fan of yours for about 2 years now, and I've made a lot of money through not only your systems, but my system. Go ahead, man. I'll let you go ahead and get have the floor to start off.
I've had the floor all night, but hey, congrats. What else do you want to say?
Pretty much, man. I was just noticing, I know you talk about Gematria a lot, and I haven't really got a full grasp on it, but I will say this. For about the last 2 years, the guys before me made a very, very, very sharp point and good point. Whenever I go on your Patreon and I look at the teams that you gave me, not just on top of your Gematria, which I know your Gematria makes perfect sense, but also if you look at the lines, a lot of times, like my man said, they will actually just shred the money. Like you can look at VSiN betting splits, Action Network betting splits, pregame betting splits. When a lot of money is on a certain team, and especially when you say the team that the money isn't on, it's damn near a lot. And I just noticed, man, it's like the more and more viewership some of these games get, it's damn near like the betting splits always pay out the smaller number. Which I mean, most people probably know that, but I just wanted the public to know whenever you do give out your Gematria picks, don't be afraid to go look into the monetary value on that game, because a lot of times where the money isn't at is usually the ones that cover. Like on the Washington game last night, fucking on most of my sites, 70 to 80% of the money was on Washington to cover and Washington to win, and they didn't. And this happens a lot. So it's just something that I would like people to kind of
take more value to, because this is a business. Like, it's a reason why they make the lines the way they make them. And you say, like last week, Pittsburgh -3. Everybody in the world took Pittsburgh. What happened to Pittsburgh? They lost. They suffered. Everybody in the world took Miami after scoring 70 and get.
And we saw that one. We love that Josh Allen could become 7-0 at home, and Tua could hold off that 25th win until the Giants. And that's exactly what I said. I said everybody's going to be betting on Miami after they scored 70 last week. You just know that's the way people's minds work.
Yeah, and it's just like, man, it's crazy. And over the years, man, I've seen you're really on point. Now, I don't have full understanding and grasp of the gematria, but I have noticed a lot of the times when you choose the team that the money isn't on, that shit is damn near a lot. It's very few times where I've took your information and I've applied it to the VEAS and betting splits, or just the overall monetary value of the betting splits in Vegas. And usually when you're on the side that the money isn't on, you're very, very accurate. You know, I don't know if you noticed that, but it just might want to be something that maybe you might want to just look into a little bit, man, because you really are very sharp upon, like, going on the side where the money isn't on, or if it's like a 50-50 split where it's kind of like Vegas wouldn't win or lose, kind of just like an even transaction.
Well, see, what you're doing is you're taking it the extra level, and you're winning more because of that, and that's what I always say in the stream too. I say use this knowledge, but also take that extra step. Find your niche. Find the extra piece of information that you like to work with. For some people, it's the betting lines. For some people, it's looking where the money is. Again, if people just rely on me and don't think for themselves, they're not going to do as well. If you put in the extra effort, it's going to show. It's like that with anything in life. And again, I charge a modest price. I give people good information, but I also expect them to tie their own shoes and take it to the next step. And that's the way I do it. So.
Yeah, man. Like I said, you're very on point. I would love this. I don't know how I could, if it's possible, but man, if I could maybe message you on Patreon or something, I would love to, like, maybe be able to give you some of this information that I have.
Send me an email. Send me an email.
If you ever wanted to look at it,
send me an email, because the thing. You have to send me an email, because on Patreon the trolls are on there all day and they just spam my message box and everything, so I don't even look at it because it's just nothing but troll crap all day, every day. So send me an email at GematriaEffectNews@gmail.com.
Okay, now within your YouTube and stuff, can I find that email address?
It's just like my channel name. I also have GematriaEffectSports.com. So just use the YouTube channel name and it's at gmail.com and it'll get there. Just don't put any spaces in it. Just write it all as one word together. GematriaEffectNews or GematriaEffectSports. I have both those emails.
Yes, I definitely, like I say, man, my name is Mr. Collins. I would definitely put that in the text box, but I definitely want to send you some information. And man, just, I appreciate what you're doing. Keep telling the truth, bro. A lot of people, the famous saying, that shit really is, men lie, women lie, but the numbers don't, man. And I really value numbers, and I really see what you're talking about. And also, just for anybody on this stream, this man knows what he's talking about. I would vouch for him. This man has literally took me out of an apartment into, a nice house. Literally changed my life. Just upon, like he said, don't just take his information and run with it, and then when something goes wrong, you want to just evaluate him. When he gives you this information, make sure to take the necessary steps needed and make sure to do the extra things the way you can actually get ahead of the sports books. Because I'm telling you, man, women lie, men lie, but numbers don't. Thank you, my man. I support you and keep doing what you do.
Indeed. Congratulations. And hey, too bad you didn't get here earlier because you were doing a lot more. We used to hit it such a higher percentage years ago. It's gotten a lot harder, but you're doing well in the last 2 years, and that means you are ahead of the curve, so keep it up.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Like I said, I will be emailing you. You have a great one.
All right, I'm looking for it. Mr. Collins, have a good night. Yeah, again, there's a lot of stories like that, you guys. We've changed a lot of people's lives. Last year on TFR, Cousin Mark called in and said he was homeless when he found the work, and he got off the streets using the knowledge. And that's what's sad, that there's people here trolling and talking shit. It's just like, God. These People are pathetic, man. I'm giving you some of the dopest information there ever was, and you're trolling. You got to be one sorry piece of shit. And thank you, Truth222. Your observation about Jordan's very interesting, and that man's already out pounding pavement, spreading the knowledge. He's the last person that needs to do a super chat. He came out and did something awesome for us in Sacramento. But again, there's few people in the world that are givers. He's a major giver. He's giving it again. And that's why I hate to even say things like I said 5 minutes ago, because the same people start giving all the time. Jason Snow, thank you very much for the 5. And also Mike Rawson, thank you as well. So I said we had no tips. Now we got 3. We got 3 tips for $20. If this was Tim Pool, we would have made about $20 million already. And we wouldn't have said a fucking thing that mattered. That's the sad part. We'd have been talking about politics like it was real, the news like it was real. And again, that's part of the game too. That's part of the illusion. They want to make people think they can, oh, it's easy to be famous. Look at Tim Pool. He's a little sorry fucking ugly motherfucker who just wears a beanie every day. And he's a chosen puppet. That's why he's famous. Because there's nothing to that guy. Absolutely fucking nothing. And here's Open Up, who also doesn't need to donate, but he just feels so compelled to. You're very generous, Open Up. Open Up, Fields 2 pass touchdown, DJ Moore 2 touchdown, plus 900, Bears win, plus 215. Thanks for the wins and information for the game. Okay, he had a nice payday today, so he gave a little tip back. Fair enough, Open Up. Thank you again. Congrats. Yeah, you guys, it's obvious that the celebrities watch what we're doing. Tony Romo's comment the other week. I mean, we've seen it before. You guys, one of the weirdest things that happened, it was a few years ago, but in the middle of one of our Patreon streams, I had a big revelation that day about 132, and I was sharing all this new information about 132. And then the Monday Night Football game that night, they stop, when a dead moment in the game, and then the announcer's like, man, did you know about 132? Man, that 132 is some number, isn't it? And they put up some bullshit stat about 132. And people who were on Patreon at the time were like, that was fucking crazy. And I was like, that was crazy. I mean, you can't tell me they're not watching our Patreon stream. There's no way they just did that. So, and that's the thing too, you have to remember, you guys, and that's why I share the information and I give people ideas, but I don't want to tell everybody exactly what to do because, again, I don't hit as high as a percentage as I used to years ago. I used to be damn near perfect when I was on here giving everything for free. Now we know these fuckers are watching us. And for anyone who doesn't think they're watching us, if you guys don't know, here's an article from 2016, The Big Leads USA Today. Look. Oh, shit, did they scrub this from Google? Oh, here it is. It's just down the page a little bit. Again, January 27, 2016. Here's how long I've been on the mainstream media's radar. Conspiracy theorist. Bullshit title to call me. Conspiracy provers, more like it. Conspiracy theorist proves Freemasons rigged AFC and NFC championship. And that's a bullshit thing, too. In October, I said why the Super Bowl was going to be Broncos over Panthers. But notice, an article targeting me. And then the next year, they targeted me again. And in this same year that this article was written, Sports Illustrated wrote an article too, but they didn't use my name, but it was pretty obvious they were talking about me. And they were actually making fun of me because my World Series prediction from just before the playoffs started was why the Astros would beat the Dodgers in Game 6 of the World Series. Well, the Dodgers did get beat by the Astros in the World Series, but it ended up being Game 7, and after it failed in Game 6, Sports Illustrated wrote this article about some numerologist weirdo online who said the World Series is going to be these teams and end in Game 6, so obviously he was wrong. And part of me wonders if it would have ended in Game 6. But yeah, here's Vice News, who also went after me. This is 2017. So you guys, we've been around for a long time. And we've been proving our point. And notice in both articles, they did put emphasis on proofs, even though here I'm called a wacko YouTuber. Again, over here it was a conspiracy theorist. Where'd it go? But just notice both articles, they're telling you proofs. And aren't we offering ample evidence day after day? I mean, today, just another piece of proof, not that we had anything left to prove. Do we have any more calls tonight? I did take the number off. Oh, it's already after 11 out here. I didn't realize it got so late. I need to wrap this thing up. My plan was to go to bed early tonight. For me, this is late. I don't stay up like this anymore because I get up so early. And last night I didn't get very much sleep. 586, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Zach? This is Brandon from Michigan. I called you last night.
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, man, you kind of let me have it because I wasn't on your Patreon, and like you let me have it. And I kind of like could tell the way that you responded and got off the phone or whatever because you gave me like a little test about the whole I-95 connection. So I re-signed back up. I got on there, and I personally like when I first seen your notes, and everything looked great. And then it said no streaks. I'm like, whoa, man, I got on the phone after I called him. I'm like, bro, the Bears are 0-14 right
You have to, but that where it said streaks is in the head-to-head, right? You have to, down in the notes, there was the note about the 14 games. But in the head-to-head, there weren't any streaks. That section's for head-to-head.
But when you first dropped it, I did not see it there.
Okay. The head-to-head is just the head-to-head. So it's not going to have the... Yeah.
I'm thinking of the Patreon every month, and I'm not listening to you, I promise you. Like, honestly, I've been following you since 18 or 19. I don't know if you remember, but when you came in Detroit last summer, I was the car dealer when we were walking around in Detroit, the shaved head, the sunglasses. Do you remember?
I met a lot of people on that, but I definitely remember going around Detroit. It was a great experience, so thank you for being there.
Before or whatever, when you were walking around downtown Detroit, and I was the dude that I was all over. I told you, I don't know if you remember this. I was like, this was first Super Bowl 57. I was like, the goat or the baby goat. It's one of those two. It was either Brady grabbed his eighth on the way out, or Patrick Mahomes catching number 2 and catching up to Brady. Bro,
Okay.
I had it down to 2 teams in August of 22. One of them came through. This year, I got Baltimore or San Fran. I do not see any team winning it that's not one of those two.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that Detroit was awesome, man. That Detroit that day in Detroit was cool. Going around the city and seeing all that, and meeting you guys, that was a good time.
I closed down my dealership for like 2 hours to come down there and meet you and shit. That was awesome. I'll never forget that, man. I appreciate that you came down and this knowledge. Okay, here's the deal for everybody listening, the trolls. Everybody, your number one troll that we all know who he is. We don't say his name, but we know who he is, right? Nobody's gonna get everything perfect. If you can be patient and you can sit back and cherry pick like a game like tonight, and you've got the bankroll to go. Like after work, I drove downtown Greektown Casino. I put a nice hefty wager on the Bears money line, and then when I got home, I looked at my phone and I said, Butkus pass. I was like, what? I went on to all my betting sites and unloaded every dollar I had on Bears money line, and boom, it's like the patience. It was like it was worth the wait. If you want to be greedy and like sit there and try to dissect every game and do what we did tonight, every game, we will all go broke. You're great, but nobody's that fucking great, dude. You know what I mean? The people, if you can be patient and you wait for your set, boom, dude, you can really dominate it.
And I always teach that. I've always said that. Patience is a virtue. Sometimes you wait for really good games. I mean, it's very unlikely they're going to miss. So, indeed.
Yeah, I like a lot. I think I'm on the Packers. I don't know why. Like, the Packers opened as a favorite. It switched over to Vegas right now. But with that artist that passed, that created the original G logo, I mean, that's kind of...
yeah, the guy who invented the Packers logo just died at age 83 this week. Football and Murder 83, and the name of the school where he invented it also equals 83. I have a post on that on my website.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you something. I know because I've been listening to the stream, and when you mentioned about you thought that Seattle was going to lose when they were here in Detroit, but did you take into equation the Barry Sanders statue that we had that day. And I'm like looking at this, I'm like, this is horrible because we're probably going to lose because of shit like
I didn't know about the Barry Sanders statue. That probably had something to do with it, but I'm not wrong about 83 in Detroit. It just played 3 for 3 in the last week of the MLB season. I was really annoyed that Carroll didn't get up his 83rd loss. Again, I call Detroit the 83 city because Detroit, Michigan's 83, and it's on the 83rd meridian. And in the case of the baseball team, Detroit Tigers is also 83. But it normally plays well with the Lions too, so... Yeah, there's been 3 misses this year, 3 games between all the weeks that I'm mad about, and I'm mad about that one. So,
yeah.
Anyway,
but hey, man, it is what it is. Now let me ask you this: I found this out. This is for this weekend. They're doing a special ceremony for Dick Butkus in LA for the Eagles at the Rams. You know, he coached both teams, whatnot. He won the Super Bowl with the Rams, and you know they're home. So, I mean, I'm kind of looking at it as like, well, Philly should win because of the tribute on the other side of the Rams. But I know, like, I looked at your numbers, and it kind of looks like the Rams...
I'm not done with those notes yet. The notes are not done. So, I mean, I haven't finished any of the Sunday games yet. I still have to finish all the Sunday stuff. Yeah. I'd wait till Saturday night, Sunday morning until we got all the information.
Yeah. That's definitely cool, man. I like being back and everything. I'm just going to be more patient and not, like, you know what I mean? If you just look to take action and say, dude, we're going to give the money back, and you don't want to give it back, you want to keep it, you want to add to it. Like, that's the goal, you know?
Yeah, indeed.
So,
indeed.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, man. You're really cool. So,
all right. Well, hey, thanks for re-signing up. You signed up just in time. See? $5 goes a long way on my Patreon, man. Congrats on the win.
Yeah, it does, man. I'm going to stick around. All right? I'll see you.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah, again, I mean, just tons of people got off the Patreon. We had a really good basketball season last year, really good baseball season. And again, it always ebbs and flows, but overall, a lot of winning, a lot of big upsets hit day after day, all throughout the year, and a lot of people just haven't been around to capitalize. He wouldn't have won today. Look, he just put his whole bank account down on the Bears tonight based on what I had in the notes, and he won for that. And he wouldn't have been on there if I hadn't lectured him last night. Last night I got annoyed. I was like, wait a minute, why am I giving you all this information? Why just sign up for $5 damn? And I didn't. He's one of the guys marching around with me in Detroit last year. So anyway, he's back on there and rewarded for getting back on there. And again, for people who got here late, just since Dick Butkus is the thing, again, somebody just said in the chat, what are the odds that Dick Butkus would die before the Bears end this long losing streak and right before the primetime game and against Ron Rivera, who was also a linebacker like Dick Butkus? Again, Gematria. The practice of coding numbers into words. We teach the base ciphers, and like I've always said, the most important cipher outside the base ciphers is Jewish Gematria, which Derek renamed all the ciphers recently, which is, you know what annoys me about him renaming all these ciphers? Is he asked me to put him in my first book and all the cipher names that he put in there. Now if you read my first book, now all the ciphers are renamed. So it's just like, why would you do this? I mean, the guy's a fucking retard. But, again, Dick Butkus, 628. The Bears stayed on 628 regular season losses. And then Richard Butkus, 787, his actual first name. The Bears got their 787th win. So the Bears record now in the regular season all time is 787 and 628. And here, let's just verify this real quick that this is facts, which it is. Chicago Bears all-time record. 787, 628. That's updated as of tonight. Here, just to make sure. Through we'll say through October 6th, the day after the game, right? Just to make sure that we got everything in here. Through October 6th, 2023. Wait, what the hell? Why did that change it? I don't even know why it would do that. Okay, that's a glitch in the stat muse. Their record is 7... Oh, hold on. I don't know why... What did I do? There, their all-time record is 787 and 628. Football Reference, it might have updated by now, but it'll probably be hours into tomorrow. Check this website tomorrow. So they still haven't updated the win, but they'll update it. You can see the 628 regular season losses, 786 wins. That was prior to tonight. They got 787. Again, like I've always taught you guys, for the bigger numbers, you got to use the Jewish gematria, which Derek renamed Latin. And why did Derek rename it Latin? Because he thought Jewish was anti-Semitic, because he's Jewish. And it's like, anti-Semitic, it's a Jewish practice. Why are you making things confusing and renaming all the ciphers when we've had them in the same cipher names since 2016? Guy is a moron. But, yeah, again, you know, everyone should be like calling into every sports radio talk show tomorrow and asking why they're not talking about this in 2023. You guys should be helping. Here's the thing, you guys. I didn't do this to get famous, but if you guys help invest in the stock of my name, the reason that would be a good thing for the world is because I'm the person advocating for truth and justice, and to be able to see how these leagues are full of ritualism and murder and really sick shit. It needs to get exposed. And people really only respect, like, celebrity in this world. That's what I realized doing this for all these years. It's like the only way that this is ever going to change is if a celebrity covers it. And if no celebrity is willing to cover it, somehow I have to figure out how to make myself into a fucking celebrity. Somebody needs to stand up more and do what needs to be done. I don't have enough power or clout in my name to get it done, especially when I'm fighting censorship and algorithms and nonstop slanders and trolling and all the shit I got to deal with every day. So, anyhow. Yeah, if you missed my video on the emergency alert yesterday, check that out too. All right, guys, we'll leave it there for tonight. Thank you to everyone who hits the like and the share and the subscribe and everyone who supports the Patreon. And yeah, if you guys aren't supporting the Patreon, I don't know why not, man. You just heard what happened to the guy. Last night I lectured that guy. I said, dude, just support the Patreon, man. It's worth the $5. He actually did it. And then look, he multiplied his bank account times 3 tonight. His bank account is now times 3 because he invested $5 in the Patreon. Now, I didn't tell anybody to go out and bet their whole bank account. In fact, I didn't think that was a smart thing to do, but he did do that tonight, and he won. And it was a damn good riddle for the Bears to win tonight, who had a ton of value, but anyway, congrats to the winners. Sorry to the haters. It's too bad that your job is to, be a paid troll and harass me. It really does make you a sorry-ass motherfucker. And, again, if there is an afterlife, if the Christians are right about the afterlife, you're probably going to the hot place. Know that. In a way, I wish they were right. But, yeah, people really should think about what they're doing with their lives. I'm standing up for the right things. I'm doing the right things. Anyone say I'm a bad guy, trust me, you better look in the mirror. You're the bad guy. I'm the one who's been right about pretty much everything. Right about what's coming in the news, with the rigged elections, with the rigged sports, with the major agendas. Who told you 2020 was going to be the next type of 9/11 event 5 years before it happened? Again, 9/11, 19 hijackers, 19 years later, COVID-19. Always the 19-year cycle, because this is all numbers. Why is there a 19-year cycle? Because the moon's on a 19-year cycle. Who goes by the moon? The money changers. And, again, that's why Thomas Jefferson, the founder, one of the founding fathers, said there should be a revolution every 19 years. Look into that quote. Now you know why. He said every 19 years, because he knew about these psychopaths. And in fact, Thomas Jefferson and John Adams were both worried about what would happen with the Jesuits when they came out of suppression. And Thomas Jefferson and John Adams both died on the same day, 7/4. Like how the 74th day of the Roman Catholic calendar is the Ides of March to remember the killing of Caesar. Caesar, president, 2 presidents dead on 7/4 or 4/7, when both president and Caesar equal 47. It's not an accident, you guys. 7/4, the word killing equals 74, like stabbing, like how Caesar was stabbed to death. What are the odds that 3 of the first 5 presidents died on 7/4, and Roman also equals 74, and Catholic equals 35? Think about it. And then what happened to number 35, the first Catholic president? Little killing ritual of his own. Rich wants to call in? Hold on. If Rich wants to call in, Rich can call in before I wrap up. I didn't know Rich was trying to call in. You can call in, Rich, and then I'll wrap it up. Yeah, the trolls do need more clot shots. Shout out to John Mendoza. John, you're another very generous guy. Thank you. Yeah, okay, Brian Hattrick Remedy. Adios, loser. God. I'm gonna expose Zachary K. Hubbard. What are you gonna expose, dumbass? That I've been here for a decade, write about everything? That I taught people knowledge that was hidden from the masses that's right in front of our face as we're being fucked with every day? Fuck you, sorry-ass motherfucker. What's up, Richard?
Hey, well, I didn't even say I was calling in, so I don't know what that was about, but I'll say hi for a couple of minutes, you know.
Oh, I thought somebody said you wanted to call in, so.
Oh, I saw that comment, and I didn't know what he, I think he was asking if I wanted to call in. I don't know, but I didn't see the comment until after you asked me to call in, so, but, hi, how you doing?
Doing all right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, if I call in here, I got the same message. You can tell them what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
What do you think about these idiots who spend all their time trying to expose me?
Well, yeah. Here's the same answer I'd give every time. You can't judge your work on a single sports game, whether you win it or not. We know you've won a lot. A single sports game compared to the truth of the California fires, the truth of coronavirus in like record time.
Hey, Rich, did I not write a book? Did I not write a book and accurately forecast when they were going to wind down all the COVID bullshit? Did I not do that?
Exactly. I've been here since just before the Cubs World Series in 2016 or whatever. You've exposed a million things, and the thing that people don't understand is if you predict it, that's a bonus. And you have predicted many, many things. It's about what you've shown. You know what I mean? If you don't get the Pirates game right, I don't even give a shit, man.
I'll tell you a pattern right now for next baseball season, because I don't think it missed a single time this year with the Pirates, and it hit at the very end of the year again. Pittsburgh Pirates equals 84 in the most pure cipher. Anytime 84 came up or 8-4 came up, it was just boom, boom, boom all season long. So
yeah, I remember you talking about that. You know, I do. I don't follow the Patreon as much as I want to, but I just make small little bets. I load $5 or $10 on there and make a couple nice parlays, and I don't have time to do all the research and look at the notes and everything every day because of how my life is. But I just make my own bets. I'm not here for the now, don't get me wrong, if there's a big huge narrative, you know, and I hear about it, I'm gonna you know, bet it, but I'm not here for the sports betting, and I wish so many other people weren't either, you know.
yeah, right. That's not what the point of my work is either. It's never been about sports betting. It's about getting people to see what's going on in this world and who's running the show and how we're all being fucked with.
Well, I believe that you didn't lose support because you traveled.
I'm losing support because they're fucking with me, man. It's just more and more people keep getting unsubscribed, and again, it's not accepting people's credit cards. By the way, I just set up a Subscribe Star page so that people can actually donate on there. For people who cannot no longer support on the Patreon, you can search Zachary K. Hubbard Subscribe Star and support on there if you want to. So,
I think you have, you know, thousands of people following you, so. Think of, like, say, if you call the Falcons are going to win, and let's say you get one wrong, you might lose 100 people right there because they bet the Falcons. You know what I mean? I think it's more that's where the support goes, because a lot of these people aren't true and dedicated anyway. They're just here for themselves.
yeah, I mean, that's probably true. There's people who signed up on the wrong day in a bad week, and they were out of here in no time.
How many true blue supporters you have that put in work, that advertise, that show up places? What's the number? 50?
When we've gone city to city, like how many people have shown up?
And I'm not just saying going city to city, doing stuff in their neck of the woods, understanding how to show new people that advertise this stuff, whether it's in person or on the internet every day. I'd say there's probably 30 to 50 people that do that. That's where the problem lies, because it's just not enough. You have a lot more listeners than that, but a lot of them are just listeners and they're not doing, and I'm not blaming nobody, I'm not being an a-hole, but we need like literally 50 times more people doing stuff, you know?
Yeah. Indeed. And by the way, somebody just made a good point about how Washington and Chicago are Jordan's teams, and Jordan's 60 right now, and there were 60 points scored. DJ Moore had 230 yards tonight, which is second all time. He wears number 2, second all time for receiving yards for the Bears. And it just so happens that today is exactly 230 days after Jordan's 60th birthday.
Who was that just found that?
I just somebody made the point about Washington, and then I was like, yeah, let me measure from Jordan's birthday. And I said, look at that. It's 230 days after his birthday. I just noticed the 230 thing because I knew that the receiver had 230 yards.
Send that person a GematriaEffectNews t-shirt. That's a good eye.
Well, what they caught was the Washington Chicago part. I put together the rest. But yeah, no, it was good just so they noticed the Jordan thing.
A t-shirt too, you know?
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I mean, that's the obvious ones that you can't even deny. What you just spit out there, there's no way it's a coincidence.
That's how it works, man. For people who don't get it, it's all scripted together. I mean, the last 2 years, haven't I given you guys the free ritual for what they were going to do with Jordan for his birthday? Hitting streaks of games with the Bulls back-to-back years, and rest assured, they'll do it again this season.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, trust me, Zach, I'm always here, and I know right.
You know what else? You know what else is up with that? This weekend in the NFL, Kobe. He was a big part of that Eagles-Rams playoff game right before the Eagles won their first Super Bowl. Again, Kobe from Philly and L.A., and then they're playing each other this week too, the Eagles in L.A., when Jordan's teams are playing each other and the way they always put these guys together. Again.
And there was a lot more Philly, L.A. before that, I think, leading up to it all, right? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Seems like. A lot of Philly and L.A. just individually even. It was just... Yeah, I see all that, man. I mean, that whole, yeah, we got all.
Oh, look at where DJ Moore's from. I was like, I gotta look at where DJ Moore's from. Oh, no shit, he's from Philadelphia. He went to college at Maryland. Okay, it's getting more interesting by the day. Oh, he was drafted by Carolina, just like how Jordan came out of North Carolina and Kobe was drafted by Charlotte before he was sent to the Lakers for Vlade Divac.
DJ Moore blew it up like this also, and with Justin Fields.
DJ Moore was the 24th pick of the draft, like Kobe finished his career with 24. It's crazy how they got this stuff, man. He's 26 years old right now, like Bryant and Jordan equal 26, and Kobe dead on the 26th day of the year. Wow.
All the same familiar numbers for sure. Wow. I'm going to have to re-listen to this video and put all this together. Jeesh.
Amazing.
I came in late, but yeah, man, you want to get some rest or something. Hey, one more thing. When I was getting trolled out there, I think you deleted that troll. He's one of many trolls that I get targeted from when you and me have argued.
Rich, everybody gets targeted who's a meaningful contributor to the community. And, I mean, you see the way they work because they take notes. And I saw what he was saying, and then I feel bad because he probably got that from listening to me rant against you. But you have been an ass at times, and so have I. But, yeah, I mean, the agents hang around here, and they keep track of everything, and they try to stir up beef. And, I mean, there's a paid-for operation to fuck with us because we're doing something that's never been done before. They do not like it.
I just want to ask the guy, hey, troll, like, be a little different than the other trolls, like, put it in your own words instead of saying the same tired shit that I've heard 100 times.
That's all they do, though. It's just like they all come in here, after the fact, Zach, after the fact, Zach. It's just like fucking retards.
Who cares if it's after the fact that at that particular time? You showed You couldn't have predicted
No. But the thing is like a lot. It's like they're gonna say that we called the Bears after the fact, and it's just like, and they're the same trolls that are trolling all day on the Patreon. And no, we didn't do that. They're just fucking losers. By the way, DJ Moore had 8 receptions tonight to go with being the 24th pick of the draft. Oh, how about that? His long tonight was 58 yards. Wow, for the year of Super Bowl 58 and Kobe Bryant 58. And yeah, this is going to factor into the Eagles-Rams game, no doubt about it. Let's not forget Jordan played his last game in Philly, and it's perfect. Again, in Sumerian Gematria, Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan both equal 678, and Kobe played his last game exactly 678 weeks after Jordan. So... Anyway.
I haven't heard none of your Patreon or your opinions, and I know don't give me a clue. I'm thinking the Phillies will be there again.
Well, I'll tell you what, everybody. There's a team that just lost a really famous player. Again, his nickname was Human Vacuum Cleaner, which equals 101, and his team finished with 101 wins on 10-1, and they finished with 61 losses. And if they did win the World Series, and they did play Philadelphia, they'd finish with 65 postseason wins all time. So again, what city has the 101, 65, 61 connection? Don't say it out loud. Let them do the homework. So
yeah. What'd you say the player's called? The steam cleaner or something like that?
The Human Vacuum Cleaner.
Oh, okay.
That's Brooks Robinson. That's Brooks Robinson. He just died on the 26th. 101, the 26th prime.
I'll figure it out. Nice.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? You know, I mean, baseball fools me a lot. If I don't go off your work and I look at other things, I get fooled on baseball a lot. So.
Yeah.
I was thinking Mariners, maybe. I mean, I thought they'd Blue Jays even. I mean, but yeah.
The Blue Jays, we knew the Blue Jays were going to get swept by Minnesota because they lined up. Minnesota was plus 119 runs scored on the season, like it's the 119th World Series. And again, they're the Twin Cities going with the Twin Towers. But remember who's Mr. 119 who died in Minnesota, who's from Houston, because now that's the series. George Floyd equals 119, so now you got his cities playing. Wow. The year it's so.
But I just know that the Blue Jays had the 23, and it's the year 23, and you know, and then the Mariners, of course. So
look, you guys, here's what they look how perfect this was. How the easiest calls in the wild card round was Minnesota to win the first 2 games against the Blue Jays, and here I'll just show you why. It was undeniable what they did. Look at how Minnesota in wild card overlap in Gematria. Minnesota's 38 forwards, 52 in reverse, just like wild card is 38-52. In game 1, Kevin Gausman, the pitcher for Toronto, got his 52nd career loss. Minnesota in wild card, and then in the second game, the pitcher got his 38th career loss.
Wow.
And it's the same shit every year. We're always looking for the wild card numbers in the wild card round. So, and it's the same thing in the NFL. When the NFL wild card comes around, they'll be doing the same shit.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna put in a nice little $10 wager on this World Series meeting and see.
Well, the 2 teams I talked about, had you put 10 in before the playoffs started, it paid 300. So it was 30-1 for those 2 teams to meet.
Nice.
You're not going to get those odds anymore because the whole wild card round ended on 10-4. Everyone swept, and it ended on 10-4 in the time of the 104th NFL season. And Brooks Robinson's full name equals 104, and the playoffs began on the Orioles manager's birthday, and it's just like, okay.
Yeah, I noticed that when I looked in that all 4 series is all swept. That was crazy. What are the odds of that?
Yeah, and all on 10-4 in the time of the 104th NFL season, where Taylor Allison Swift's 104, and everything's been on 104, and all the 104 deaths in the offseason, including Jim Brown and Ray Lewis's son. It's something else. So
yeah, didn't the Bear? I didn't watch your video in the beginning, but I'm just thinking of this myself. The Bears 14, right? That they snapped at 14, like end.
Exactly. And 14 in today's 10-5, like 105 and 105 is the 14th triangular number.
Yeah. Well, The trolls can't debunk this stuff, can they? Not this one.
They don't ever try to debunk it. All they try to do is attack me and come with their same bullshit arguments.
Yeah.
So,
you know, and they're paid for trolls, as we know, but some of them are just morons. They're real. They're not true. They're actual people that don't believe the work and just think it's all a lie. You know. So it's not all paid for trolls, you know.
well, some people are just retarded. But again, like when I was out at the Mariners All-Star game and just talking with people, I mean, everyone I talked to was receptive. There were some people I went up to and they just didn't want to know anything. They're like, don't talk to me. I don't care. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, that's just a, you know, a personality type. But like literally every person we talked to thought it was interesting or got it. And there were some people who say, well, even if it is rigged, I'd still go because I like watching it.
Yeah, and I seen some of that. And when we pounded Pavement on September 11th, we didn't get to talk to many people in the second half of the day because it like became a ghost town. But in the first half of the day, like the very first person I talked to was a gentleman in a badge. You know, he wasn't like a street cop. He was like one of those kind of office cops, you know what I mean? But he had his badge and his suit on. And we told him the whole entire truth of 9/11 in like 2-3 minutes. And he had his mind blown there. I mean, he was like, giving us the thumbs up and, wow, I have to look into this. You know, just not all cops are in on it or, you know, part of the secret societies.
Sure. It's just...
I mean, if everybody was doing this, you know, that's why I have my email and I have all this shit typed out for people to show. If you explain exactly like I got it typed out, they can't deny it. You just show the right people. That's the key. So, but I enjoyed showing that cop that, man. I blew his mind. It's like, that's who you work for. So I told him.
Yeah. Indeed. So.
But I understand where you don't like, because you've had them rob your house and stalk you. And, you know, I get it. That could happen to me too. But
yeah,
I believe that it's one of the answers. We have to get people like that to know this stuff.
Well, I mean, it's just like when we were in Oklahoma City. I think you remember that one cop who just like opened up to us and he was just talking about everything. And at the time that maybe you weren't. Do you remember the cop that I'm talking about in Oklahoma City?
The security or the cop?
No, he was a cop. He was outside the church, and then
the one that was hosting us around the entire time.
Well, the next day, like, he came and found us and he was riding his bike all around us. It was obvious he wanted to follow what we were talking about. So. Yeah,
and I vaguely remember, you know, thinking like that happened. And like what I have to say to that is that's kind of what happens with people who are skeptical. I could tell them 9/11, California fires, Kobe, and like they're buying it, but they're not. But then the more they hear, that's how you're showing them.
Yeah.
So the important part is they hear, and that, Zach, that's why you're repetitive. We know this, and for good reason. But when I'm pounding Pavement, I am very, 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 like you'll say, I say the same things. You know how you've said that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I show the same things. It's because, like, yes, we've all heard Flight 77, blah, 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 a million times, right?
Right.
But there's a billion people out there that haven't. You see what I mean? That's why I go to the obvious rituals. 118 from the California fires. Tom Brady's Super Bowl. So easy to go boom, 25, 25, 25. 21, 21, 21, 21.
Right.
That's how I show new people. And if we had 1,000 people doing this, like, people would actually start knowing. And I'm seeing the difference in my world. So, and this is an important topic, I think. So,
indeed, it is.
Stayed on a few extra minutes for it.
Yeah, and by the way, Washington did fall to 2-3 tonight. Like Jordan wore number 23, and the number 230 as receiving yards is 230. Think about that.
Yeah. And we're in the year 23.
Exactly.
So, you know. Yeah, that's
exactly.
With that big time, man. That's strong. That's strong.
Yeah.
All we can do is just keep turning the page to the next week. You know what I mean? That's what it's like.
Yeah.
We're just sitting here turning the page, seeing what they're going to do next.
Yeah.
But, yeah, thanks, Ben, for suggesting for me to call in, because I just hope, you know, I'm pounding Pavement 2022 at gmail.com. If you email me and ask for the literature, I have 16 major events that I've learned from Zach all typed out. I can get you a t-shirt for $20 that really stands out in public. It's black and red. And show you how to pound pavement. And without, you don't got to be sold this sign at the corner to pound pavement. Like, I consider that I pound pavement every day. What? Because I could just be talking to people, you know what I mean? Posting things and get new friend requests every day. And that means there's new people. So if everybody just does this stuff, we're already popular, man. I mean, there's people that we don't even know, you know, like I've heard stories where like someone's in a bar, like in a different city across the nation. And they're like, say Frank, you know, they say, oh, I know that Frank and Rich guy. And it's like, wow, that's kind of flattering. I've done that much advertising through the censorship, you know?
Right.
You gotta do it right. And that's what, when you email me, that's what I show you how to do. But people that do the email, they'll get the literature, but there's never no communication back. Like, hey, I went out and pounded pavement, or hey, I want a t-shirt or something, you know. So I feel like I got the formula, Zach, and I always have, and that's not putting me above you or thinking I'm better than everybody. I've learned to show people the stuff you've showed me. So, and I just wish more would do it. That's all I've been here for 7 years.
Yeah, tell me about it.
But that's my message every time. So.
All right, Rich.
Yeah.
Well, good talk, man, and appreciate all that you've done. Thank you.
Yep, looking forward to New York City next year, hopefully, and I'm going to do better than I did the time before.
Indeed.
All right, brother.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Yes, sir.
Yep, take care. Yeah, this Jordan connection piece is crazy. And again, the first date I'm worried about for Jordan in this upcoming basketball season is November 3rd, because Brooklyn and Chicago are playing that day. And of course, Jordan's from Brooklyn. November 3rd's 113 like Michael Jordan, and it's synced up perfectly with the Nike film and his visit to Italy, where he probably met with the Pope. But I'm just curious, from tonight's game to November 3rd, what is that? Is that 58 days? Let me check that. Is that 58 days? Or is it 59 days, actually? It's 59 days, like Michael Jordan's 59. Hold on. Or am I tripping? Maybe I can't do math. No, never mind. It's 29 days. Football's 29. 29 days. God, pretty soon I have to start decoding basketball again. I gotta up the cost of this. I'm doing too much work for too little, and nobody fucking tips. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Willius19, and thank you again, Truth Matters 222. Today is 10 weeks and 4 days, or 74 days after the anniversary of Jordan's father's death. I know Jordan's father died July 23rd, 33 days after he won the NBA Finals, which equals 33, like Michael. And he died on the side of Interstate 74, like Kobe died in the 74th NBA season, and like how Moses Malone was drafted in 74, that killing number, but also the Exodus number, going with the story of Moses. In Exodus, the second book of the Bible, 2. But yeah, you guys, I mean, that's what it is. Born and bred to be, and you wonder how they keep the secrets. I mean, it's they cloned Tyrone. And don't forget, if you haven't seen that movie, you should check it out. The Secret Labs Under the Church. Like the Church of Philadelphia. And Philadelphia is so important to basketball, man. Like everything's Philadelphia basketball. The first championship was won by Philly. The Warriors are originally from Philly. But yeah, you guys, I mean, look at it. I mean, the dude's from Philly, drafted by Carolina, tonight synced up with Jordan. Again, Jordan at UNC, played his last game in Philly. Kobe parallels. This is the same week that LA and you guys. And like I said, the NFL games this week are on the 281st day of the year, the 60th prime. We were talking about this earlier before we even realized this piece. Woo, man, they got it good, these people. And you guys, for all the things that I've discovered over the years and the things I've documented, I guarantee you I've missed 99% of everything. So Not in terms of being wrong, but just like things that there were to catch that they did. You know, there's a million things happening in this world. You know, I can only catch so much, and even the other people helping out, there's only so many of us even who know what to look for. Most people can't even catch the pattern of 10-4 message received. You know what I mean? They don't get the joke of why we're getting... Did you guys know Russia got the 10-4 message received yesterday on the same day? And theirs was sent at 10:40 a.m. local time, Moscow time, which was right when the 40th minute of the day was happening on the West Coast. So the U.S. and Russia were both on the date 10-4 when the 10-4 messages started happening. If you don't know about the Jesuits that run this nation, they were preserved in Russia. That's why you got the same 201 Jesuit rituals firing up Russia, Ukraine, and everything else these cocksuckers are doing. You guys ever seen Al Swearingen in Deadwood? That guy had the best delivery of the word cocksucker. Cocksucker. Anyway, I can't do it like Al Swearingen. Same actor in the John Wick Illuminati movies. But yeah, thank you again to Truth Matters 222 who had 2 big super chats who didn't do that. Truth Matters 222, don't donate any more money, man. You've already made such a great sacrifice. It's not you who needs to donate, but I do appreciate it. If you need anything from me, feel free to reach out. Jason Snow, thank you again. Mike Rawson, thank you again. Open Up, thank you again. Willius19, thank you again also. And Jason Snow got in a second time already. So, yeah, if you guys aren't on the Patreon, I'm telling you, you can help me out because we do need more support. And you can definitely help yourself out. So, until next time, Truth Seeker, have a good evening.